little bit of a throwback for you today, folks. Remember this one? This is the true test of the real Grapefruit fan. Is, do you recognize this image and this sound? This is my ancient, like, vibe video, Street Noise, which, I posted this is on the Fruit Salad channel now, which used to just be my personal channel. I think it was called Technoberry for the longest time. Not the longest time, I mean, it's been Fruit Salad for a lot longer. But, this was just a little mix. It was like I took somebody's ambient city noises, rain sounds, and I took some music that I thought would go well with it from some, games that I loved, and just put them together. And it's got 30k views, which is not bad for, you know, what was at the time just a random YouTube channel, essentially. But this song is Self-Esteem Fund, which is from the Portal soundtrack, which is a great soundtrack that I think gets overlooked a lot. And I've been thinking about Portal lately, just offhandedly. I was like, you know, Portal's a great vibe, that first game, and I'd love to revisit it. And it's been an age since I did the Portal speedrun. Someone in the chat was like, didn't he already do this? I did, a long time ago. This was one of my first streamed games. Let me just look up Portal speedrun Grapefruit. 7 years ago. And Street Noise was 9 years ago. So I think enough time has passed that I kind of just want to play it again. And I was also recently thinking a lot about commentary mode in Valve games. And I was like, those are so cool, and I really want to like show one on stream, maybe to try to like whet people's appetite for playing a game with commentary mode on, because it's so cool and fun and interesting. And I wanted to do it with a Half-Life game, but I was like, the Half-Life games, I've just played so much Half-Life on stream already, of just like the franchise in general, and those games are a bit long, and the commentary modes, it's like that's a lot of commentary, because those are long games compared to Portal. And then I was like, oh, Portal, I want to revisit it, I want to do a developer commentary mode, this is perfect. So we're gonna do developer commentary mode on Portal 1, which I have played through before ages ago. I remember a couple small things from it, but for the most part, I don't, so it should be fun. They're always very insightful and cool. And I just want to vibe out with Portal 1 again, because the only time, it's one of my favorite games of all time, but the only time I've streamed it was a very short stream, comparatively, and I feel like we didn't get to sort of settle into the vibe. I mean, how long is... Portal speedrun is 1 hour and 13 minutes long, the VOD. Which is kinda crazy. That's normally I try not to have streams be like 1 hour long, but I guess I was just that fast at Portal. But we're gonna play it. I'll get this out of here. This is Binding of Isaac music, by the way. I'll leave a link. There'll be a link to Street Noise. I'm kind of surprised this video, I guess it got demonetized because it has Interlude Lost in the Freezer section in it, from the Groceries album, which is not video game music. It's got, let's see, Self-Esteem Fund from Portal, Respite from Binding of Isaac, which is what we're hearing now, Flash Binding of Isaac, Interlude Lost in the Freezer section, and the title theme from Please Don't Touch Anything. And then I made a sequel, I made a couple sequels to this. I made Street Noise 2 and Beach Noise, which I still think are fun, just ambient sound and music. I don't know what to even call them. I think they're decent videos for what they are. I just haven't thought about them in a long time, but I was thinking about it today. I was like looking through my folder of images, and I was like, I want something kind of nostalgic that like harkens back to my very early streaming days, and I thought this was appropriate. Soundscape, yeah, I guess is a good term. Okay. Let's get the game open. I don't know who took this picture, by the way, I'm sorry. It's very Thing Japan. My tastes at this time were very like thing Japan, but I don't even think that's necessarily a bad thing. It's just a thing. And not only will there be developer commentary, but I'm also a huge Portal nerd, as most of you know. I have 382 hours in this game, which this is like a 5-hour-long game if you're playing it blind. So I told that to my friend earlier today, and they were like, that is actually insane. Like, that's cracked. How do you have that much time in this game? But the old story goes, I'm sure that I'm going to say a lot of things in this stream that will be repeated from the Portal speedrun. But the reason I have so much time in this game is because it was the only game I had on Steam for a really long time. This was like one of my first real video games. It was like this and like Mario Galaxy, because I didn't have games through most of my childhood because my parents didn't really let me play a lot of video games. It's probably a huge reason why I'm so into video games now. There's probably some like psychological shit going on there. But this was, I literally saved up my allowance to buy Portal, and I had to convince my parents to let me play it because there is blood in the game. You get shot by robots, whatever. And they were like, I don't know, it's got bullets, it's got blood in it. I'm like, it's like a puzzle game, it'll be fine. And so my dad set up a Steam account, and Portal was like one of the only games I had for a really long time. And so I spent endless hours replaying it, kind of speedrunning. There's, I didn't do too much time in this, but there are advanced chambers and challenge modes. Honestly, these are like a rough part of the game. They're not super fun, but that was something that can extend the playtime of this game. But mostly it was just messing around with SV cheats, which I know most people had a very similar experience with Gmod. But I didn't have Gmod, I had Portal. But I looked up, these big lists of cheats that you can type in that give you, like, the weapons from Half-Life 2 and stuff like that, or let you change the textures on objects, and I'm sure we'll mess around with that and no clip and stuff during the stream. It's not gonna be... I've played this game a million times. I don't need to prove that I'm a Portal gamer. I have the solution to every test chamber totally memorized, and maybe I'll get stuck. I don't know, maybe. If there's a test chamber that I don't immediately remember the solution to, I will be shocked. So this is just to vibe. This is just to enjoy the game. Somebody was like, maybe you could go for the radio achievement, and maybe I will do that. But let's just hit new game. Let's go in. Oh wait, we're not in developer commentary mode. We gotta hear Gay Ben. It didn't start off with Gay Ben talking about Node. Alright, commentary. So, in case any of you don't really know what this is, here's a little explanation. Commentary nodes contain audio commentary by the Valve development team. You point at them and click on them, basically, and you hit E, and there will be an audio log of a developer saying, here's a particular concept or design challenge or problem, or something we think we did well, or something we did poorly, etc. With this part of the game. You will be invulnerable to damage while listening to a node, and achievements cannot be earned. So they're basically just talking about how they made the game. And they're really, really cool. I'm such a huge fan of this, and I wish more companies did this, but they don't. So I guess we just have to accept that.
Welcome to...
Here he is, Gay Ben.
Name here.
Hopefully you've already had a chance to enjoy the offbeat perspective and new game mechanic of Portal. To listen to a commentary node, put your crosshair over the floating commentary symbol and press your use key. To stop a commentary node, put your crosshair over the rotating node
whenever he says
and press
node.
the use key again.
It sounds like it's edited in.
Some commentary nodes may take control of the game in order to show
and have
something
fun.
to you. In these cases, simply press your use key again to stop the commentary. Please let me know what you think after you've had a chance to play, as we think we are just at the beginning of taking advantage of this type of gameplay. I can be reached at gayben@valvesoftware.com. Thanks, and have fun.
Please, 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 let me know what you think. And have fun. Node, and have fun. I've heard that all those sentences remixed to shit so many times. Oh, is GLaDOS not gonna say her thing? I guess it's on the timer. That's the timer to the first portal opening. I'm gonna wait to click on any of these. There's the famous radio. There's a clipboard with some hazards. There's the first mention of cake.
And again.
Hello.
The Aperture Science Computer-Aided Enrichment Center.
I've heard this dialogue so many times.
In the relaxation vault has been a pleasant one. Your specimen has been processed, and we are now ready to begin the test proper. Before we start, however, keep in mind that although fun and learning are the primary goals of all Enrichment Center activities, serious injuries may occur. For your own safety,
Clipboard jank. I think the lamp can be swung too if you throw something at it.
The portal will open in 3, 2, 1.
There's our first portal. How do you make the lamp like swing around? Can't you get it to? Yeah, it's a physics object. That's so. Why would you put the effort in to do that? But that's so cool. So. One little fun fact about this, maybe the commentary nodes will talk about this, but the stats here at the bottom of this, whatever this, cryogenic pod that we were in, there's actually specific stats here, so it says subject ID, something ID 234, and then it's got these specific like bars that I guess are some kind of like vital sign statistics, and later in the game, there's actually a clipboard that has our file on it, and maybe I can even change the texture. Hold on, let me. We're gonna need SV cheats for this playthrough, I think, and I think I still remember it. It's ent fire exclamation point picker skin 1. Picker skin insert number here. So let's copy that. Copy that. Yeah, so you can change it. This is the funny bird one. Okay, subject ID number 42. And man, I wish we could read those notes, but it's a bird skeleton. There's some kind of... this is canon to Aperture Science. They tested a bird. And now let's go through all the different skins on this. Gender-neutral, polyamory-friendly partnership policy. I actually have no memory of that one. That's awesome. But I know one of them, here's the one that you actually see at the beginning of the game. And one of them has advanced knee replacement, I think is what that says. That's so cool. So this is something relating to the long fall boots that you wear that prevent fall damage. We got... So I'm just changing the texture on this object through all the different textures that are here. Okay, so here's Chell. This is Chell's file, and if you look, those bars are the same. Like, that's her vitals, that's her, like, readout. The other one, the bird one, was different. So I always thought that was a super cool, super subtle environmental detail. I don't even know if you actually naturally see the Subject 234 clipboard later in the game, but it's cool that they put that in there. Isn't there the, like, Black Mesa one? What? What about the, like, HEV suit? There's one that talks about the HEV suit. Did that get patched out? Huh. Okay, I could have sworn... Huh. Oh, whatever. Here's the coffee cup, by the way, you can break it. Okay, let's listen to notes.
One of the things we learned from Narbacular Drop, our student project that became Portal, was that players often thought portals took them into other spaces. One of the things we learned from Narbacular Drop, our student project that became Portal, was that players often thought portals took them into other spaces, or even other dimensions. To help fight that notion, we start players in a visually unique room with memorable objects, so that when they walk through a portal for the first time, they have a clear point of reference, which communicates the idea that they're still in the same basic location. For instance, the radio, which is playing an instrumental version of Still Alive, helps as well by providing some audio continuity.
Kim Swift, my hero. The luminary behind Portal.
It's absolutely critical that players quickly wrap their heads around what a portal is.
What do you think this toilet smells like?
We noticed early playtesters grasped the concept much more quickly when they caught a glimpse of themselves through a portal. So we deliberately positioned this first portal to ensure that players will invariably see themselves.
These nodes and this like commentary mode always just flabbergasts me with how much care Valve puts into designing a game. They give so much of a shit. It's awesome.
We put the player character in an orange jumpsuit to reinforce the fact that she's a test subject. Visually, the warmer colors helped her pop out against the colder tones of her environment. Some playtesters were wondering why she could fall so far without getting hurt the way she would have if she were in Half-Life 2. In response, we added a mechanized heel spring to her lower legs. Afterwards, there was no longer any question about why she could survive such long falls.
There's one of the let's just go no clip. Let's just do here's my classic move, bind and no clip. I think that should make it so I can toggle it. Maybe not. Oh yeah, here we go. It's a little janky. These screens, you can see these much clearer later in the game, but they're still moving even in these like out of bounds places early in the game, and you may notice that there are recipes. There's broken up parts of a recipe in here, and it's supposed to be the recipe for the cake, the famous Portal cake. Fish-shaped candles, fish-shaped candies, I think it said. There's a bunch of, like, it's very garbled and it's going by very fast, but like fish-shaped ethyl benzene is one of them. Pull and peel licorice. Fish-shaped volatile organic compounds. There's a lot of fish-shaped stuff. That's a very weird joke, the fish-shaped blank. But this is also stuff that will be repeated by the logic core later in the game. That just regurgitates. Oh man, make a wallpaper with this. It's so hard. No clip, you go so fast. These are all physics objects. The logic core spouts some of that stuff later too.
These frosted glass observation rooms make the player feel as if they're being watched at all times, while keeping the identity of these watchers a mystery. The rooms serve a practical purpose as well, since we often use them as convenient and logical light sources for the test chambers.
So there's an achievement in this game that was added in an update that was meant to kind of precede Portal 2, where every level that has a radio in it, if you take it to a certain spot, I don't even know if this first one has one, but there's a place where you can take it where it will start to pick up a weird sound. Yeah, here we go. We're nearby it. And it plays like a spectrogram. And there was this huge, like, kind of Portal ARG sort of thing. Here we go. So I think that's just Morse code. But, that's part of an achievement, and the sounds that it plays are part of this strange puzzle that was sort of a teaser thing leading up to Portal 2.
Portal is effectively an extended player training exercise. We spend a huge portion of the game introducing a series of gameplay tools, then layering those tools into increasingly difficult puzzles.
Isn't GLaDOS supposed to say something when you go into this room?
Where we train the button and box mechanic, before introducing the more complicated concept of portals.
Maybe I, messed it up by having the commentary mode on. And I think there's a way, I don't know how you do it without like cheating in portals. Whoa, that was jank. The radio just hurt me. So I think once it goes green, you don't need to leave it there. You just get the achievement count. But I've already got the achievement, obviously. But I think there's a way to get that cube through the door, and then GLaDOS will like yell at you and spawn another one. But of course, right now we just want to put it on there and walk through.
Please proceed into the chamber lock after completing each
Here's
test.
the
First, however,
item destruction field.
Particle field across the exit. This aperture science material emancipation
The level will end if I go into the
any unauthorized
elevator, so I want to
that
listen to
passes
this.
Through it. For instance, the aperture science weighted storage cube.
It was always a little mysterious to me that they call it a storage cube. Like they actually keep stuff in there. I also always love these like dirty padded walls to the elevator. Portal 1's got a great, unique, dingy kind of feel to it. Portal 2 is a great game as well, but oh right, there's not a loading zone there. Never mind. But I really love the weird vibe of this game in particular. Okay, Here's one of the timed portal puzzles.
We wanted players to feel safe while standing in a portal.
Aperture science heavy-duty super colliding super button.
We wanted players to feel safe while standing in a portal, so we never kill them or destroy objects within a portal that's closing. Instead, we either push or teleport objects out of a portal as it closes.
Move quickly to the chamber lock, as the effects of prolonged exposure to the button are not part of this test.
Radio. Oh, I forgot. I neglected to get it. You gotta get it on the entrance to the level. I'm a fool. You could probably nab it. No. I'll no clip to it. Because it's kind of a fun, like, it's like the one part of the game that I don't remember insanely well is the radio puzzles. Oh, what? There's an invisible wall here now. They didn't want you backtracking. That's funny. I've never noticed that, actually. I learned something new today. So I'm assuming probably if you take this into the room with the button is my guess. Yeah. No? Exit room? Yeah, that right there is like a spectrogram, I think. There you go, it's green.
We very deliberately introduce and train each gameplay concept in Portal, so that once players reach this spot, we're confident that they know what a portal is and roughly how it works. Early versions of the game let players stumble through the beginning, without always understanding what was going on, which really compromised teaching new concepts. The puzzle you just finished was designed so that stumbling around will almost always lead to a dead end. Completing the puzzle requires walking through a minimum of 5 portals in a specific order. This kind of gating, in which a solid understanding of key gameplay concept is required for success, helps standardize the learning curve of the game tremendously.
Thanks, Robin Walker. Yeah, no, that is an anti-soft lock feature. There's a really clever one in Half-Life 2 where there's a room near the beginning of the game where there's a bunch of boxes that you have to stack to get out a window, and they were like, oh, you know, some playtesters noticed you could soft lock yourself here by throwing all the cubes out the window, or all the boxes out the window. And so they were like, see what happens in the commentary mode. They said, try throwing them all out the window and see what happens. And basically it just respawns the last one that you threw out when it's like out of your line of sight, just over and over again. It's very cheeky. Taste of Blood, that's the name of one of the songs on the soundtrack. There's the gun. Teeth. Every line, every enunciation that GLaDOS says in this game is... I could probably quote this whole game in one big long unbroken string.
Protesters would charge down the stairs without noticing what was creating the portals. We introduced a mandatory pause in the action, what we call a gate, to help ensure that players stop and notice the portal gun making the blue portal. The particle effect and a loud noise help draw their attention.
This is also going to be the first level where we're able to break security cameras off the walls, which I think you can do in the earlier levels, and it's linked to an achievement, but I got the gun. We'll let GLaDOS talk here. We only have one portal unlocked right now, though.
These intradimensional gates have proven to be completely safe. The device, however, has not. Do not touch the operational end of the device. Do not look directly at the operational end of the device. Do not submerge the device in liquid, even partially. Most importantly, under no circumstances should you...
I think... So there's an achievement that's linked to taking all the security cameras off the walls throughout the game, and it like has a little counter. But I think if you hack the portal gun in with SV cheats earlier on in the game, then you're supposed to be able to do this. It's like GLaDOS still remarks on it when you do it, and it's still possible, but I think it messes up the achievement. So for the longest time, that achievement was broken for me. Do not destroy vital testing apparatus. She has such a sing-songy way. Ellen McLean popped off so hard. Yeah, and the second time you do it, she has a shorter, more brusque version of the little snippet. I probably won't try to go for every security camera. You can hear it, like she's getting a little pissed off and her voice kind of glitches out a little bit. Do not destroy. We've got all the radios so far, I think. I want to say. My commentary of the dev commentary, it's like House of Leaves. Yeah, Robin Walker, yeah, that guy died. He went insane and died.
Please proceed to the chamber lock.
I'm glad that doesn't cut off her voice line. Mind the gap.
This room was designed to make players understand that entrance and exit portals aren't tied to the color of the portal. Playtesters often assume that orange portals were exit only, so we created this puzzle to force players to enter an orange portal.
When rendering the player's view through a portal,
the
we
radio's
must render
up there.
A separate image using a virtual camera which looks out of the opposite portal. To obtain a correct image and efficient rendering performance, we render only what is visible to the limited field of view of the opposite portal and exclude objects which lie between the virtual camera and the plane of the opposite portal.
So it's like, right up until the exact moment, like, I always felt like you could kind of tell when you actually pass through the portal proper. It's like there's a slight jitter that happens. It's like almost undetectable. And also the sound effects change. It's like... It's funny, I almost think I can hear the, like, spectrogram. And also this will start rotating at a certain point too, right? No? But yeah, they have like a fake image through the portal. That was like the thing that blew so many minds about this game. Was like, whoa, you can like see your own body in the portal. The nodes are blocking it off a little bit, but you get me.
Vital testing apparatus destroyed.
Yeah, that's the final.
Remember, the aperture
You broke the camera's dialogue.
Is the perfect time to have her tested.
Bring your daughter to work day. That's something that came back in Portal 2. And it kind of is implied that Chell is here as a consequence of Bring Your Daughter to Work Day, which is fucking hilarious. So we're gonna... I think this one might be a little bit up. There's just like an invisible place where you need to bring, yeah, the radio. There we go. They're usually pretty easy to find.
The combination of portal-destroying fields, which we call fizzlers, and the elevators serve a dual purpose.
Didn't actually fizzle out the orange portal.
They provide a clearly identifiable endpoint for each test chamber, while also addressing the more practical problem of how to keep players from portaling across level loads. We eventually integrated the fizzlers into several of our puzzle designs.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's a popular fan theory that Chell is, in a weird way, GLaDOS's daughter. It's not... I don't know, there's not much to it.
Chamber 4. You're doing quite well.
Something that I always liked about this chamber, and it had better still do this, there better not be some like weird small update to the physics engine that makes it not do this. It was always satisfying to me how when you detach this camera, yeah, it balances perfectly upright on the edge of the button. Oh man, the memories. Look at me. The like character animation and movement for Chell is like pretty good too. Oh, the radio was in there too.
Integrating portals with Source Engine's physics system was a complex process that required several iterations to achieve the right balance of performance and correctness. Because portals can be placed virtually anywhere in the game's environment, the physics system had to be modified to allow dynamic changes to its representation of colliding geometry, such as the walls and floor around this box, and any objects which may lie on the opposite side of the portal. Initial implementations of this dynamic collision generation system could take up to 1/2 of 1 second, or 500 milliseconds, to compute the correct collision. This may not sound like a long time in everyday life, but this pause during the portal creation was quite noticeable in the context of a game. Ultimately, we designed a system that creates temporary hybrid physics environments in bubbles around the portals, using less accurate collision than that produced by Source's standard collision generation, but was accurate enough in practice and reduced the time to create dynamic collision representation from 500 milliseconds to just 10 milliseconds, which is an imperceptible pause during portal creation.
Nerd! Nerd shit detected. Also, yeah, GLaDOS just said she's not gonna monitor the next test, which was a fabrication. Also, yeah, in the elevators, I always remember doing this. Particle effects just go nuts. I don't even know why. They don't really do this anywhere else in the game. It's just fun. Look at the way they scatter. They even kind of escape into the room outside. Here's another classic.
Vital testing apparatus destroyed.
It's like there's a little hint that she's still watching, even though she said she wouldn't.
Early versions of Portal featured more detailed, cluttered environments, much like Half-Life 2. We quickly realized that unnecessary objects scattered all over the place distracted players to the point where it actually interfered with the Portal training process. So we simplified the art style to favor clean, focused test chambers. The modular approach we settled on makes it look plausible that the chambers can reform dynamically on these pistons.
There's the radio. And like I said, a lot of these radios were added later on in an update, which is kind of whack. I wonder if the radio spot is like in this room. Yeah, here we go. You can usually kind of intuit where they're gonna be. I was always so allured by these spots, you know, because later on in the game you kind of escape the confines of the test chambers. I always loved that they gave you little sneak peeks into what the exterior, what the outside of these, you know, super clean cut test chambers looked like, even before you ever have an inkling that you're gonna, you know, go there.
As part of a required test protocol, our previous statement suggesting that we would not monitor this chamber was an outright fabrication. Good job. As part of a required test protocol, we will stop enhancing the truth. In 3, 2.
I love the phrase enhancing the truth. That's such a... The writing in this game is so fucking fire, man. They cooked so hard with Portal 1. Yeah, that's a room that... Some of these are rooms that show up in Portal 2. And this...
Safety is one of many Enrichment Center goals. The Aperture Science high-energy pellet seen to the left of the chamber can
just a thing taken from Half-Life, by the way.
Disabilities such as vaporization. Please be careful.
This whole mechanic of the pellet did not return in Half-Life 2, and I was always, or in Portal 2 rather, and I was always kind of sad about that, but they bring back this test chamber, and there's a brief moment where you can see this shooter, I don't know what to call this, the like pellet dispenser. You can see it getting retracted into the ceiling and replaced with a laser shooter, which is kind of, I took that to mean like, here is the superior version of this kind of puzzle thing, is the laser instead of the pellet. It's a kind of tricky radio to get. Maybe a wall portal would be better? There's no place to put a wall portal. It's actually hard. Why is this actually hard? Maybe I can just reach through. I don't think you can do that, but... Oh god, don't shoot me. Ah. You will instantly die if you touch that thing. Yeah, okay. Man, this is hard to get radio. Am I stupid?
Enrichment Center goals. The Aperture Science high-energy pellet seen to the left of the chamber can
I'm hitting E.
permanent disabilities
how do you get
such
this?
as vaporization. Please be careful.
What the hell, man? Maybe, let's get it into there, because I think then it'll stop dispensing pellets.
Subject name here must be the pride of. Subject hometown here.
I'm assuming that's like also Ellen McLean's voice. just with a different filter over it. Subject name here, also a name of a track on the soundtrack. There we go. Yeah, you can reach through the portal and get it. Okay, yeah, that's a tricky one to grab. Maybe just up the elevator. There's also, I think these kinds of elevators didn't come back in Portal 2. This is a really boring fact, but the ones that respond to you standing on them, those did not make a return. So I think you'll still get the achievement even if you destroy the radio. I knew somebody who took voice coach lessons from Ellen McLean. Little personal fun fact. Shoutouts to Sally, who I knew in high school, who was very cool. Theater kid, but one of the good ones.
On all mobile equipment. However, alarms and flashing hazard lights have been found to agitate.
Oops.
Now use the aperture science unstationary scaffold.
Unstationary.
Chamber lock.
There's such a way of speaking in these games, the enhancing the truth, unstationary walkway. Also reminding me of in Portal 2, there's the edgeless cube, which is a sphere. Wum wum wum. Great sound design too.
Originally, these scaffolds ran on electrified tracks, but crafty playtesters would hop along the rails to the exit, bypassing the puzzle entirely. We tried to solve this by killing players as soon as they touched the rails. That solution ended up being too much of an overcorrection, as even skilled playtesters were getting frustrated by these one-hit kills in the more complex puzzles later in the game. Making the scaffolds run along immaterial beams of light solved both problems.
Yeah, and if anybody didn't know, what's his name? John Lowry, something Lowry, and Ellen McLean, who are both voice actors who have done a lot of work with Valve, are married to each other and live in Bellevue.
We have added a consequence for failure. Any contact with the chamber floor will result in an unsatisfactory mark on your official testing record, followed by death. Good luck.
It's actually been such a long time since I've heard these lines, and they're like funny again. It used to be I didn't even process them as jokes because I've heard them so many times.
Even though layering player training was a design goal from the start, we still ended up introducing some concepts too quickly. For instance, this used to be the first energy ball redirection puzzle. Playtesting revealed that this puzzle introduced too many new concepts at once, which ended up frustrating a lot of playtesters. In response, we inserted 2 test chambers before this one to make the energy ball redirection training more gradual.
What? Like up? Where the hell is this one? But those voice actors, they are the voice of GLaDOS and the announcer in TF2 and probably a couple other incidental things, as well as, and then the other one is the voice of the sniper, and I think Pudge in Dota 2 and a bunch of other stuff. But they're a very cute couple. They do signings and such. Where the hell does it want me to take this thing? It's like clearly near here, but that's like as close as I can get without dying. This sludge, I always like the sludge too. I think you could actually hop to that. Let's see. Nope. And yeah, and it slowly kills you. The slime slowly kills you. Because you have an invisible health stat in this game. That kinda invisibly drains and then refills over time.
We previously talked about how we handle static portal collision, but collision with moving objects on the other side of a portal is a completely different and equally hard problem.
Collision boxes!
Walking onto this scaffold was a very iffy proposition for the first few months of development. We solved the problem of colliding with these dynamic objects by cloning the objects from one portal to the other and strictly controlling what objects are allowed to collide with each other and how they're allowed to collide.
Some dev commentary things like show shit that normally you wouldn't be able to see, like collision boxes, which is really cool. Maybe this one's just up as well. Like, this one's kind of tricky, man. Grab it. Sometimes you grab something and you're also standing on it at the same time, and it like fucks it up. Come on. Oh my god. I'm never gonna figure this out. Yeah, one of my favorite ones in Half-Life 2 was one where they showed the NPC pathing on the ground that's normally invisible, but it's this like complex web of little nodes that connect to each other. That they were like, you know, snap my fingers and turn on the visibility of nodes. Got chat, does anybody know what the hell where the hell this thing is? Oh, here we go. Thank God, I was confused, clearly. Okay. I'm enjoying doing that. That's kind of a great way to have this be, you know, still slightly functional as a puzzle game. Those who node. Yeah, this sludge, I don't think, did the sludge return in Portal 2 either, or was it just an artifact of this game as well?
Very impressive. Please note that any appearance
it's the Hot Carl's sludge
to enhance your testing experience.
From Most Extreme Elimination Challenge. So I thought about also, I'm sorry to the developers of Wardle, I thought about playing Wardle for a while, which is a Wario Portal. It's Portal, but instead of GLaDOS, it's Wario. I kind of wanted to play that, but I kind of wanted to do this instead.
To inform you that this next test is impossible. Make no attempt to solve it.
Okay, this test chamber used to piss me off because in, I think, one of the trailers for this game, it shows somebody like leaping through the air and pushing this cube through that hole because it's like perfectly like cube shaped, but you never have to do that. You see this test chamber twice in this game, and you never have to do that in either version.
Because our test chamber environments were simplified for training purposes, we created visual hotspots within the rooms to guide players' attention.
Whoa.
The design is essentially a balance between round objects and sharp objects. The sharp objects representing background elements, and the round objects, such as doors and movable props, comprising our points of visual interest.
Sincere apologies on the occasion of this unsolvable test environment.
That's weird. I thought I saw something purple on the gun. Is it Wardle? Wardle is installed?
For the first few months of development, we rendered the views through portals to 2 off-screen textures. This approach was easy to implement and was compatible with a wide range of graphics software. Unfortunately, this method was incompatible with anti-aliasing and consumed a large amount of video memory in order to handle recursive views through several portals. Because of these disadvantages, we switched to a system which renders portal views recursively into the frame buffer with the aid of the stencil buffer to isolate pixels corresponding to a given portal. This is a more effective scheme because it is compatible with anti-aliasing and does not consume any additional video memory for off-screen textures.
I forgot how many, I think it's been so long since I've done this test chamber and taken a long time doing it, I forgot that she just keeps yapping at you the whole time. Okay, it's gotta be in here.
Wait now, and cake will be served
immediately. Is that the first cake mention? I'm really not familiar with these voice lines because I always played this chamber so fast. Let's just listen and see if there's more. While we, oh, maybe it's like there. Okay, yeah. Cake. There's an untextured hand on the portal gun if you increase the FOV. Holy shit, I think I see the thumb. I've never noticed that. That's crazy. It sounds like she's done yapping. I think that's the first cake mention. That's whack. I was gonna say like, I was talking about every line. I remember every line. I don't remember that line actually. I don't know if I ever heard that.
Fantastic. You remain resolute and resourceful in an atmosphere of extreme pessimism.
I'm trying to remember. Some of the test chambers you can like soft lock yourself in, and GLaDOS like helps for you. She like fixes it. I think this one's one of them, but I don't remember how you do it. Also, these lights. Look at these lights. This is a really nice subtle touch. Look, all the ceilings, the TF2 logo! I don't think that was intentional. Alright, are we finally at... No. This is Momentum Part 1.
To reiterate, previous one. Momentum.
Momentum.
Portal momentum ended up being the hardest concept to convey. For this series of puzzles, which went through more design iterations than virtually any other part of the game, we introduced the idea of redirecting your momentum using portals, slowly, step by step. We even have the AI voice pretty explicitly explain the elements of the puzzle, something we avoided throughout most of the rest of the game.
Using gravity to fall into one portal so that you come rocketing out the other portal, a skill we call flinging, was another difficult concept to train. We designed a specific visual cue, a pushed-out concrete block with checkerboard tile above a pit.
Where's the radio
to indicate to players that it's time to use the fling maneuver.
Self-esteem fun
Repeated
playing.
several times, this cue helps players associate pushed-out concrete slabs with flinging, in much the same way that players learn to associate cubes with buttons.
Yeah, GLaDOS even says, "Get ready to fling yourself," later, I think.
Spectacular. You appear to understand how a portal affects forward momentum,
there it
or to
is.
be more precise, how it does not.
I think this is also the room where she goes, "Wee." The song is so good. Oh.
Originally, these exit portal surfaces were static geometry in the final position, but playtesters stubbornly refused to look up to find them. This is another example of the classic game design problem of coaxing
getting people to
players
look up. Yeah.
By putting the portals on moving pistons, we were able to start them in a position that players were more likely to see.
Yeah, that's, if you ever, think about that if you're ever watching a Twitch stream and somebody's refusing to look up. This is just like, it's part of human nature. There's, the one thing that I remember about this dev commentary that happens later on, I think, is, there's a ladder during the escape sequence, and they're like, it's a broken ladder, it breaks if you touch it, it breaks if you shoot a portal at it, but it got the players to look up, and that's all that we wanted. So now this extends some more.
The function of mass and velocity is conserved between portals. In layman's terms, speedy thing goes in, speedy thing comes out.
And these little dots connotate the different sections of the challenge, too. You don't see those in every test chamber. So this probably won't be a single stream, it'll probably be a multi-parter. But we'll see, we'll see. I think, is this one where you can get under the stairs?
Promises to always provide a safe testing environment. In dangerous testing environments, the Enrichment Center promises to always provide useful advice.
Is that supposed to be like, don't drink the water?
Try to avoid it.
I've never actually really thought about this one. It's don't drink the sludge, I think is what that's supposed to be communicating.
We found that rather than looking into portals to see where it went, playtesters would often leap blindly to their doom. In response to this observation, the moral of this puzzle is, look before you leap. The safe orange portal is out of the player's view from this balcony. That forces them to peer through a portal to see it, which trains players in the remote viewing capabilities of portals.
Originally, a weighted button was used to open the far door, but playtesters so strongly associated boxes with buttons that they'd get stuck searching hopelessly for a box. We changed the big button to a pedestal-mounted push button, thus removing the box association, but playtesters still had trouble realizing they needed to shoot a portal through the door. Adding a ticking timer sound when the door was open cued players that the puzzle expected them to act during that time, which solved the problem.
So now we need to wait for it to shoot a portal at us again. This test chamber was always so boring to replay for me because it takes so long for the thing to rotate.
This room is designed to build anticipation for the big moment when players finally get the fully powered portal.
Yeah, anticipation.
The puzzle path brings you in a circle around the device, so that it's virtually always in sight, right up until you grab it.
Actually, I don't want to shoot that there quite yet. We want it to change and then shoot it, yeah. And I think you can even, like, camp out on that little dingle-dangle there, but it doesn't, it's not super safe, so I didn't do it. You can also, like, show off portal ledging in this. Oh, shit. Get on it. There we go. Oh, God, right in my stomach. This song is also great. Procedural Jigglebone, I think is what it's called. Oh, you just get a second one and you just like Fallout New Vegas craft them together, I guess.
We are pleased to present an amusing fact. The device is now more valuable than the organs and combined incomes of everyone in subject hometown.
The solution to this one was always a little, or no, I guess this is just the fast way to do it, right? You can just wait for this thing to go back. Why is it so dark in here all of a sudden? Huh. So now we have the fully operational thing. Yeah, and you can just take a little dip in the water and survive here. Oh, but shit, I want the radio. No soap, radio. Let's try just doing a little ledging here. Hope they didn't patch ledging out. No, okay, there we go. Give me that. So is it in here? No. Shit. So there's a little trick, this is a little like speedrunning trick, I guess. It's kind of an exploit, kind of breaks some of the puzzles. But if you stand like this so that I'm outside of this portal, normally you can't shoot a portal through a portal, so look at my little cursor. Neither of the sides of it are filled in, which means I can't create a new portal. But now I can because I'm technically through the portal. So if you do that, and then while the portal shot is like in midair traveling back out, you can do that, basically. Which you're not really supposed to be able to do, but we're cheatsing, lol. And I don't remember where you're supposed to take this, honestly. Maybe the center pedestal? Oh, fuck. I'm stupid. I bonked my head on the portal. Yeah, you could shoot portals through portals in Narbacular Drop.
As part of an optional test protocol, we are pleased to present an amusing fact.
An amusing fact, they say. Let's just play this normal. Actually no, I think it's timed, so you do have to do this. Don't you? Huh. I'm stupid, maybe. It's just how I've always done it, is by shooting a portal there. So, hold on. Let me just... We're shooting the blue one, right? Sure, that works. I wonder where they want me to take this. It doesn't seem like it's in here. It's not the biggest deal in the world if I don't get all of them, but this is, again, a great way to, like, force me to treat this like a puzzle game. Because I don't think it's even possible to get back into that room. So let's just try bringing it onto the center here and not be a stupid idiot. Yeah, portals are hit scan in Portal 2. Which is a bit of a shame, but I understand why they did it. Look, when you hold it right on the threshold of the portal, the light goes out. We'll just see if this is the solution, and then if it's not, maybe I'll just no-clip to the solution. Because I don't think we can get back in there. I don't think we can get in there. Yeah, here we go. That's a tricky one. I kind of used, like, shenanigans to get it. But, there is a shenanigan-less way. I mean, that jump was clean. Ooh. This is fun. What a cool game.
player training doesn't always stick, especially after the introduction of a big new concept. For instance, after they had a
Fling into space.
Fling into
player training
space.
doesn't always stick, especially after the introduction of a big new concept. For instance, after they had acquired the fully powered portal device, playtesters often forgot about the fling maneuver. Since it's such an important skill, this puzzle is designed to reintroduce the idea of flinging.
There's also slight aim assist when it comes to portals. So look at here, I'm gonna try to kind of like intentionally hit the edge of this portal, but it just automatically directs me into there without any of my input. It moved me slightly to the right. Just a little bit of baby boxing. Yeah, the game would be irritating without that feature, I think. So where's the radio in this level? What? Hold on, I hear it. Is it behind? I think it's like behind those. Let's look around. I hear it. Is it near the beginning? I'm actually struggling at this one. Not back here. Oh, am I stupid? Whoa. Am I crazy? I kind of thought it was like on one of these like poles. But that would be so hard to access. Maybe it's like at the top. Because I don't hear it anymore. I'll just fling myself. What the hell? Chat, anyone seen it? Anyone see the thing? Maybe it's in this room once I hit the button. Yup.
Wee.
It's in the next room. It's I thought there was one per test chamber. Let me just like no clip just a tiny bit just to check. Yeah, and we can see into these rooms too. I always loved no clipping in this game. Maybe I am hearing the one from the previous test chamber, because that looks like a loading zone. Oh no, it's there! How? Okay, I think I see how. You gotta like, kinda launch yourself, but not fully. Maybe just like jump from here. That one's crazy, man. Okay, yeah. We can probably do this. Yeah, that's nuts. That's a really obscure one. Oh, I dropped it. Wait. Wonder how many people got like really bad motion sickness from this game. Probably a decent number of people. It's a particle effect rave in here, dude.
When we move from largely placeholder art to our final
this is the first kind of difficult level.
To get a facelift.
This next test could take a very, very long time.
Yeah,
if
it's...
you become lightheaded from thirst,
this is the first one where I got even remotely stuck on my first playthrough, I think.
Will be dispatched to revive you with peptic salve and adrenaline. Vital testing apparatus destroyed.
When we move from largely placeholder art to our final visual design, this was the first level to get a facelift. We chose this map because it had many
Doesn't
other
it
gameplay
show you the old version of it?
Relatively small space. The test chamber art direction was designed to make everything appear purposefully placed. The simple design helps focus players on the puzzles. It also provides a nice contrast to the later, much less sterile behind-the-scenes environments,
which contributes to a clear sense of progression.
I think maybe I saw, like, a screenshot or something of this test chamber as it originally appeared. I thought they showed it to you in this dev commentary, but I guess I was wrong. Another great ambient tune. I believe Kelly Bailey, who also worked on the Half-Life series.
This is the first map in which we experimented with solving the puzzle in as few portal placements as possible.
Oh yeah.
We tried to fit that concept into
the challenge mode,
but were never quite able to sell it. Instead of abandoning the idea altogether, we added the concept to a series of post-game challenge maps.
And those challenge maps are acceptable. I think they're kinda, I don't know. They're not the best, frankly. It's probably in there if I had to guess. Ow. Sorry, a lot of the stream is Grapefruit carries a radio around. Looks like it's up there. Yeah, here we go. And I think we can even, like, bring this cube out. Maybe it's even required. I know this is one of the ones where you can soft lock yourself pretty easily, but GLaDOS fixes it for you. I also appreciate how the dark stain on the wall and the, you know, orange glow dot on the other wall pretty effectively communicate that, you know, there are specific spots where you should be shooting the, the portals to get the pellet. Actually, I think what they were talking about there, where they were like, we wanted to have a test chamber where there's a challenge of doing it in as few portals as possible. The big thing is, like, getting up here and then jumping down to this platform and then jumping to there. Which, you know, there's not a lot of, like, platforming puzzles in this game necessarily with just, like, jumping, but that's something where that strat is necessary for doing that challenge level. So I think if you, like...
A problem we came across with virtually
maybe
any
he'll talk
puzzle
about it
involving
here.
boxes and doors was that the players could portal the boxes to the other side of the door, thereby trapping themselves in a room with buttons but no boxes. We set up special triggers to detect and handle these cases, and then added the box delivery tubes to ensure players could always be supplied with the required tools.
So I'm going to destroy the blue portal now, which will make this puzzle unsolvable. Right? No, am I stupid? I guess I gotta put the other box in there too. Put those both in there. Now GLaDOS will yell at me, I think. No?
Despite the best efforts of the Enrichment Center staff to ensure the safe performance of all authorized activities,
reused.
you have managed to ensnare yourself permanently inside this room. A complimentary escape hatch will open in 3, 2, 1.
Did you notice that little snippet about to the performance of all authorized activities? That was reused dialogue from her camera destruction message.
No longer lie to you. When the testing is over, you will be missed.
A problem.
I like that, because she's a robot, so if she says the same thing, it's going to sound exactly the same. Yeah, that's why this game's a 9 out of 10 out of 10. Reused content. No, it's artfully done. I think it's cool. This is a test chamber you can easily cheese. I bet this node is about that.
A few playtesters put a portal on.
To handle high-energy gamma-leaking portal technology must be informed that they may be informed of applicable regulatory compliance
They must be informed that they may be informed.
Further compliance information is required or will be provided, and you are an excellent test subject.
He's gonna talk about it here. There's a very easy way to cheese this level that I think I did in the speedrun.
A few playtesters put a portal on the floor here, and used the rising stair pit to skip the rest of the puzzle. We'll usually rework a level if playtesters discover a way to bypass chunks of the puzzle too easily. But in this and a few other cases where skipping ahead arguably takes more skill than solving the puzzle properly, we let the ninja solution stand.
The ninja solution. And that's also, it's cute that when they added these radios later in an update, they changed it, they put it in a place where you use the same technique. These little like light holes and like all these like weird squares poking out of the walls are also kind of part of a visual identity that was slightly lost with Portal 2. Portal 2 is a fantastic game, but there were just a couple things that were slightly off about it compared to the vibe of Portal 1, and that's fine. Every game can have its own vibe, but it kind of stuck out to me.
This is a great spot to appreciate the recursive nature of portals. If you place a portal on each side of this hallway, you'll notice the portals seem to go on forever, similar to the effect you get in a Hall of Mirrors. In actuality, we support a maximum of 9 recursive portal views to any chain of portals.
Here, in the options, you can actually portal funnel, portal render depth, so you can actually crank it up super high and make it so previously we couldn't see through those two portals.
By copying part of the previously rendered frame onto the final portal in the recursive chain. It's not perfect, but it's inexpensive and effective.
But with modern computers, we can go crazy with the amount. Look, the game lagged for a second, but look how many of those we can see through recursively now. Oh, this blew your mind in 2007. What? Let me up.
We designed this room to draw the player's eyes to the box. The light from the observation room casts horizontal shadows that point at the box, which is directly lit by a warm light from the ceiling. This warm light helps the box stand out against the predominantly cool test chamber lighting. The varying size squares of the off-limit surface also help direct the player's attention upward.
That's so... shit like that is so cracked. The way Valve visually designed their games. They literally use like painterly techniques to lead your eye in a certain direction. That shit is so cool. Whoa. Boing. So let's see if the radio... It seems like it's just beyond here that the radio starts to buzz. Yeah? It wouldn't be... They wouldn't put it in a place where you just have to jump to get to it. That would be stupid. It's probably right here, yeah. Oh. Okay, I'm actually... Yeah, it's good that our portal got fizzled out, because we can just put a blue one there, not have to worry about it. It's the deep fryer! So you can bypass all of what I'm doing right now by just momentum flinging yourself up this elevator.
Very good.
But we've already seen that.
The victory lift has been activated in the main chamber.
Somebody said I haven't seen this part of the chamber in years. It's just great when the devs care. Isn't that such a... it just floors me, knowing the devs care.
The Center is committed to the well-being of all participants. Cake and brief counseling will be available at the conclusion of the test.
I thought this was the first cake mention.
Help you help us all.
Thank you for helping us help you help us all.
This particular section went through several iterations because it's the first place where players are required to perform possibly the trickiest portal maneuver, the double fling. Originally, the room also featured an energy ball redirection puzzle. Combined with a new double fling skill, however, it proved to be too much for most playtesters. Overwhelmed players tend to not digest new information, so we simplified the puzzle to require only the double fling. To nudge players in the right direction, we also included visual hints such as the previously introduced single fling theme, the pushed out concrete slab with a checkerboard landing zone.
Yeah, the little checkers on the ground there are like, put a portal here. Psst.
Vital testing apparatus destroyed.
Yeah, and something someone in chat brought up is, obviously there's no people in these observation rooms, but it's something that you only really think about once you've already beaten the game, once you like get through like test chamber 19 and see that they're full of like chairs and shit. There's like empty chairs and desks that people ostensibly used to work at, but there's no one there. And that plays into the lore of the game. I also always used to like doing this, like flinging the cameras themselves right as they come off the wall.
This puzzle requires players to redirect an energy ball through multiple portal placements. Yeah. The multiple steps caused many early playtesters to panic and accidentally redirect a ball right into themselves, with deadly results. We redesigned the test chambers so that portals can only be placed in the top half of the room, which solved the problem by generally leaving players out of the ball's reach.
That's fun. Yeah, never really picked up on that. So once it goes through there, let's see if we can do it fast. Damn it, no. I always want to try to do it fast before it leaves a stain on the wall. Okay. And is this a place where you can portal bump too? Maybe not. I won't do too much portal bumping because it kind of breaks the game, but I seem to remember there's something you can do to skip like right onto this elevator. Maybe I'm crazy.
We noticed through our playtest that many of our players weren't aware of the fact that you could place portals while falling. Since placing portals as you are falling is essential to accomplishing flings and many other portal tricks, we implemented this puzzle so that the only way to solve it was to use the mid-air placement tactic. It took numerous iterations and lots of tuning before this consistently played well.
Alright, now, and then this is what Kim Swift was saying earlier. This is probably something similar to what she said was like an earlier version of that room's test. So I think we want to do it like that.
Perhaps the most important purpose of this final test chamber is to cement the double fling maneuver training. For previous flings, we employed a visual cue, a pushed out section of a wall. In preparation for the more freeform behind the scenes levels, however, we take the training wheels off.
Is there a radio in here?
Players must realize they can double fling almost anywhere they want to, with or without hints.
I haven't heard one. Maybe I missed one? I don't know. Oh man, this passageway. This is where portal ledging goes crazy. Like, I mean, you can just do this too. But I did it in the speed run. You don't need to see that shit. Gordon doesn't need to hear this. He's a highly trained professional. Gordon doesn't need to hear this. Okay, fuck you. I'm portal ledging through this.
Vital testing apparatus destroyed.
It's like, man, what if you could chain those together? You'd have to be real quick. And I think if you hit a pellet with one of these, it just goes like ricocheting off in some crazy direction. Yeah, that's kind of a consequence of it being a reused gameplay concept from Half-Life. But that's one of those things that I used to mess around with that so much. You can also spawn those energy balls to the mirth of my 16-year-old self.
In this puzzle, we wanted players to realize that using portals, they can travel long distances in a short step. Originally, we had stairs from the ground level to the upper rooms. Many playtesters, however, were able to run from one room to the other quickly enough to consider it a solution without ever thinking to use the even easier portal method. By changing the stairs to very slow-moving lifts, we were able to level the travel time for all player experience levels, thus making the intended solution more clear.
So the idea here is there's two doors. We gotta redirect the pellet while also hitting both of these buttons, but they're on timers, so the doors are only ever open for like short periods of time. But we need to fling into here and grab this, and I think GLaDOS will yell at us once these doors close.
Through no fault of the Enrichment Center, you have managed to trap yourself in this room. An escape hatch will open in 3, 2, 1.
There's a little special room that you only see if you do that. It's fun. I wonder where you take this. No way you take it back, because these portals have stopped, or those platforms have stopped spawning. It's probably just one of these rooms, I guess? Maybe it's like after the exit of the puzzle? I actually don't know where to take this. Well, you can also, I think can't you just do this to solve this puzzle? I heard it going, did it go green? Nice. I was like, I heard it start to make the weird sound. Okay, cool, whatever, it works, whatever works. Have you played any of the Portal fan games? I have not. I played like 20 seconds of Portal Stories Mel, and I was like, it's not the same, and I stopped playing, frankly. Okay, it just shot a new pellet, so even if it times out, I should be able to...
Donate one or all of your vital organs to the Aperture Science Self-Esteem Fund for Girls.
Self-Esteem Fund. I guess, was Flash Portal a fan game? Yeah. I played Flash Portal before I played real Portal. Flash Portal was what got me into Portal. I kind of didn't realize that it was a fan game when I played it. I just thought it was its own thing. I'm not against playing Portal fan games, I've never liked one.
Scheduled maintenance. The appropriate chamber for this testing sequence is currently unavailable. It has been replaced with a live fire course designed for military androids. The Enrichment Center apologizes for the inconvenience and wishes you the best of luck.
Here's where the turrets get introduced. I can't portal bump here. This is like a classic spot to portal bump because it skips that little monologue of hers. Did they patch it out, or am I just bad? I like can't do it. Normally the way portal bumping works is like if you shoot, there's this whole mechanic where if you shoot a portal and then you shoot like if you shoot an orange portal at a blue portal, it'll move the location of the shot orange portal. Because, you know, you can't have them overlap like a Venn diagram. You can, oh man. I actually forget the command, but there is a command to turn off portal bumping, which makes a really trippy effect. Could someone look up the code for turning off portal bumping? It's like something bump 0. Someone look it up. There's got to be a list online. But there's that whole mechanic where it'll bump a portal to the side, and you can do it through walls sometimes. Hold on, it's like normally you fire it up here. Oh. There we go, and now it has bumped to the other side of the wall, and when the door is closed, you can use that to skip her dialogue. It's in the speed run. It's a classic bit.
Vital testing apparatus destroyed.
For Portal, we wanted to create a turret that was different from the traditional Half-Life 2 turrets. The Half-Life 2 turrets are nothing more than mindless mounted guns. In Portal, we wanted the turrets to have personality, to be characters. The first step was a redesign of the look. Once we had the look of the new turrets, they seemed less like menacing machine guns and more like cute robots. And robots can never really be cute until they are talking robots. So the next step was creating the vocal characteristics of the turrets. Working with Ellen McLean, we settled on an innocent-sounding voice with dialogue to match. This juxtaposition of killing machine and innocent, non-aggressive personality ends up making the Portal turret a memorable character.
Yeah. We love the turrets. They're so fun. I think I remember my friend Aiden in Boy Scouts telling me about Portal, you know, before I had ever even played the Flash version, and he said something about, like, the turrets that when you kill them, they say, like, I'm sorry, or something.
For Portal,
or, like, no hard feelings and shit like that. They're very, very cute. Here's another one.
Even though we didn't want Portal to be too combat heavy, we wanted to add at least a light combat mechanic. After a few less than successful attempts to actually realize this light combat concept,
go in the corner and think about what you've done.
A good compromise. The turrets can be defeated with tricky portal maneuvers, but they're also susceptible to a more straightforward berserker approach.
Yeah, you can just run up with a cube and smash them in the head, and it works. And look at this. This is right over there is our first Ratman room, and here's the first inkling of the Ratman is that he left this little marking for you. Ostensibly. SV portal placement never bump. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, and also SV portal placement never fail means that you can shoot on non-portalable surfaces. So let's turn this on, and then we should be able to have overlapping portals. Wait, no? Oh, I think it's 0. I have to have it set to 0. You don't have to type all this out. You can just hit, like, up. No? Am I stupid? Let's try never fail as well. Never fail 1, that makes sense to me. And then never bump 1, because 1 is on, 0 is off. Yeah, there we go. And now they won't even be restricted by, like, look, they can, normally they can't do that either, be like under the floor. But now you can have 2 portals overlap like a Venn diagram, and it makes some pretty trippy effects. My head got cut off! But of course, that completely breaks the game. You can put portals on windows, you can put them on the stuff that you're not supposed to be able to put portals on. Like that. It's totally broken, so we're gonna turn it off. Help! But thank you for looking that up. So here's our first Ratman den. I always liked how these things have a little subtle give to them, too. Like they move a little bit when you take the cube out.
Even though Portal tells a simple story, we created a lot of backstory.
Cake is
for
alive.
Aperture Science, for its employees, for its rivalry with the hated Black Mesa, and for where all of this fits into the cosmology of Half-Life. This first Portal game doesn't reveal all of it, but we crammed a lot of little...
By the way, this first Portal game, that was in the game way before Portal 2 was ever announced. It was like the shadowiest of the shadow drops for Portal 2, because they said this first Portal game
details into the environment.
That was in the game
this
long
area,
before
instance,
Portal 2 came out.
The Ratman Den hints that there may be other people trapped in the facility.
And look, you know, I never really thought about this. Isn't this a Half-Life 2 asset? This is like the little things that you like plug in. There's also these boxes that you can move around with portals, but you can't pick them up. You can like shove them around too. I always loved using these to solve puzzles because it feels like you're not supposed to be doing that. Here's the Xbox that's been taken apart. It's like an Aperture Science Xbox that's being used to cook cans of beans. Beans. I wonder if these have any like alternate textures. No, it doesn't look like it. I like the weird, the Aperture console. I guess it could just be a PC as well. I always thought it was an Xbox. Here's the poop bucket. Great environmental storytelling. Another great track too that plays there. Okay. Let's do that. You can also just run in and go tackle him, but it's not wise there because you're going to get in the line of sight of several other turrets. But now you can just, I can just run up to this guy and just bash it over. And this exact room here is where the thumbnail for the Portal 2 speedrun is, which is not an image that I created. I kind of altered it for that thumbnail, but I didn't make it myself. Here's the broken dispenser. I think this radio was in the game before they even added the radio achievement. Ah. It's gotta be the rat room, right? Yeah, Pacifist Run ruined. I knocked some of them over. Oops. Yeah. Classic. That one's pretty intuitive. And I really love also the environmental storytelling here that clearly somebody has been by to try to fix this. But also that, like, I don't know, does that even make sense? Because, like, is it a human? Was it a bot? Was it Ratman? Who knows? Never really thought about that too hard, honestly. I love that they give you a surplus of boxes to use for this test. And this technique is also... Oh, I'm gonna die. This technique right there is crucial for the fewest portal placements challenge run on this level. Actually, maybe they don't even have that kind of challenge level on this particular chamber. Maybe I'm crazy Cracktown. And knocked one of them over. They're so cute. I forgot how cute the turrets are. It's another thing that, like, I've heard their lines so many times that it doesn't even register to me as humor, or it didn't, but playing this again, it's like, man, those are funny. I'm Angie. Oh wait, we gotta find the, thing again. I guess I don't need to. I already have the achievement. I don't think it changes anything about the game to do that. One thing, you know, 300 hours playtime on this game, one thing I really enjoyed doing in this level in particular was taking every single physics object that I could find and bringing it past this grate at the end and destroying it in the Emancipation Grid. It's a little barbaric. Oh yeah, there's also an achievement for killing a turret with another turret.
Well done, Android. The Enrichment Center once again reminds you that Android Hell is a real place where you will be sent at the first sign of defiance.
Yeah, somebody said I never even knew about the radio thing. It was added in an update, so if you played this near the time it came out, it might not have even been in the game. Ah, the companion cube. That's chamber 17, right?
Will deliver a weighted companion cube in 3, 2, 1.
Oh! Classic joke.
This weighted companion cube will accompany you through the test chamber. Please take care of it.
It's funny, remember when this was like... I actually feel an extreme fondness for the companion cube now. It was such an overdone, like, cringy meme for such a long time. It was like such a, like, Reddit core type meme for ages, but now it's like been so long that I can just appreciate it again.
We designed this hall so that players had to use a box as a shield, but many playtesters read it as an avoid the energy ball timing puzzle and simply left the box behind.
The symptoms most
We solved this in large part by having the AI talk about the box a lot. Once the dialogue went in, playtesters went from routinely abandoning the box to never wanting it to leave their side. Since we weren't going to make the players lug a box around for the rest of the game, we had a scene at the end of the level where the players are forced to kill the box.
And thus, an enormous part of, like, gaming web meme culture was born from this one desire to make players do a certain thing in a game that they were making. And it's like they took that and they turned it into a memorable joke too. They were so good at that. Okay, look at that radio over there. It's underneath the glass, so you actually need to raise it before you get it. Can you only portal into this one? I was always like, man, shouldn't it be like it deletes stuff off of a wall? Like if there's writing on the wall, it would like get erased if you put a portal on it. But I guess that doesn't make any sense. Oh my god, right here, right here. Take a look at this. All right, anybody ready to get their mind blown? Cave Johnson. Tier 3. So there was a website. Man, I remember I used to doodle this. I used to like write this places. Login C Johnson password tier 3. Trust me. This was part of a website. Also this, oh man, I used to sketch this particular like drawing on like my notebooks and shit in junior high. There was a website where it was like aperturescience.com or something, and you could type in C. Johnson and Tier 3 as login and as like username and password, and there was a website that like told you Portal lore before Portal 2 ever came out, and Portal 2 references stuff that's in that web page. I don't think the web page is up anymore, but and they even did a couple things. There was like at one point on Christmas they like changed it to be like Christmassy themed, the website. I don't know, maybe it's still up, but it was definitely part of an ARG, which I'm personally very excited for. Yeah. But Tier 3 is in, and C. Johnson could mean Cave Johnson, but it can also mean Chell Johnson. It's sort of open to interpretation, but it probably means Cave Johnson. There was Tier 3 refers to this whole thing where Aperture Science, I'm sort of recalling this off the top of my head, so forgive me if this is inaccurate, but it was like Aperture Science had 3 different potential like investment opportunities that they were trying to invest into, and there were 2 like really stupid joke ones, and then the third one was portal technology. I think it was something to do with shower curtains, and one of them was called the Take a Wish Foundation, where you would take... I don't even remember exactly how it would work, but it was like you take away the dying wishes of like dying children. It's so dark. But then I remember something on the website that was like, oh yeah, we have this portal technology lying around. It's our third option. We're probably not going to go with it. I don't know how it would help with shower curtains or something like that. So a little bit of weird portal lore for you. I also like, man. Apparatus vent will deliver. Oh, it will. Some of this is pretty hard to read. I'm not hallucinating. You are. The companion cube would never desert me. Desert. So long. Cake. Haha. Cake. A lie. The companion cube would never lie to me. Never. The girls of Aperture Science. September 1983, by the way. I don't think that date has any relevance to this series, frankly. I think it's just the date the calendar was made. But here's the famous companion cube, I don't know, goon cave. Where are you? I will find you, I think it says. Though Earth and man are gone, I thought the cube would last forever. I was wrong. Stop watching. You said to take care of it. Companion cube. You can't... You wouldn't... Me? Wouldn't it me? I should disregard your advice. Leave me alone. I don't know if I've ever read some of this stuff, honestly. Because I could not stop for death. He kindly stopped for me. The cube had food, maybe ammo. Immortality? Is that what it says? Why? Companion cube with a skull on it. It's like, where did they get all these pictures? Who had a camera in here? And like tape? And what does this say? Not in cruelty, not in wrath. The Reaper came today. An angel visited this gray path and took the cube away. So sad. Milk and beans, you just know the Rat Man was shitting like crazy. And there's cameras in here that he tore off the walls.
I know that I was told that, you know...
Yo!
Sort of the idea of Valve is that everything is planned. Everything is worked out in advance. But that's a big fat lie. Because the initial idea is started, and they bring an actor into the studio and they say, you know, say these words for us. Say this computer-generated voice for us. Okay, I'll do that. Well, then that gives the creators other ideas. And it's a rolling process. You roll from one idea into the next idea.
I think we just need to use the cube. Yeah. That's a bit of a funky solution. That type of shit you would never see in Portal 2, again, because the pellet doesn't exist in Portal 2. Is there another pellet dispenser, or do I really need to use that one over and over again? I think it stops shooting. I like... Ellen McLean's such a character. I may be stupid, actually. Here we go. That should work. Good shit.
The Enrichment Center reminds you that the weighted companion cube cannot speak. In the event that the weighted companion cube does speak, the Enrichment Center urges you to disregard its advice.
Oh, is there another launcher that I should be using? Shit. I think there's another one, over here. Oh. Yeah. That one. You gotta be resourceful for this level, and there's a huge portal bump skip in this level too that just skips all of this, which is incredibly time efficient. I think it's like to down there, but we won't do it. Let's just solve the puzzle normally. Yeah, Ellen McLean was it was an opera singer, yeah. And they used that at the end of Portal 2 with Cara Mia Dio. There's also, in the HUD, I don't know if I ever even noticed this, there's a subtle little marker that shows which portal was the last one that you shot. Was that added in an update, or has that always been there? The little blue circle. Okay, so now all of those are up. We can use the radio. Game Grumps played Portal 1 recently? Oh shit. My awful truth has been revealed. I'm a huge Game Grumps fan, and I was inspired by them. Maybe we gotta take it like all the way to the top of the level again. Top, beginning. Ugh. He's such a grump head. Actually, I think I seem to remember it's like over here. Maybe? Oh, maybe not. Damn it. Here's the part where you have to incinerate the companion cube. I cry every time. You're telling me a gray made this fruit? Let's take it all the way back to the beginning, I guess. All the pellets should be gone, right? I keep holding shift to try to like run, but it's like in the corridor next to us. Getting closer. Whoa. I'm sorry? Why are there textures missing? Excuse me? I've never seen that happen. Oh, and now I'm actually, I've actually... Oh, no, these poked out because the cube is not here. These are here to prevent you from soft-locking yourself. I don't know if I knew that existed. What? How? Dude with 300 hours in Portal somehow didn't know this. I have no memory of that. So is it down there? Where the hell do you take the stupid radio? Maybe it is in the little room down there. I should have just gone a little further. Maybe you need to drop it into the incinerator. I bet that's it. It's like right above the incinerator. Come on. Yeah, okay.
The awful end of the companion cube serves a dual purpose. It adds a lot more sinister character to our already pretty sinister AI, while simultaneously training the player to use the incinerator, a key component of the final level. The training has a nice dramatic payoff, since players later get to avenge the death of their good friend the companion cube by stuffing some of the AI's important parts into exactly the same type of incinerator.
I like that they just keep calling it the AI instead of GLaDOS. I wonder why they say that. Like, was her name not finalized at this point or something? You would think it would be.
Companion cube certainly brought you
Good luck.
However, it cannot accompany you for the rest of the test and, unfortunately, must be euthanized.
Euthanized, by the way.
Please escort your companion cube to the Aperture Science Emergency Intelligence Incinerator.
Intelligence Incinerator.
The
Goodbye.
awful end of the companion cube serves a dual...
You euthanized your faithful companion cube more quickly than any test subject on record. Congratulations.
You can kind of still see it in there, I'm pretty sure. Maybe it disappears. I could have sworn you could just see it sitting in there. And you can also, of course, jump into that and you just die.
The experiment is nearing its conclusion.
God.
The enrichment center
Maybe this will be a
is
one-parter.
required to
No.
remind you that you will be baked, and then there will be cake.
Test Chamber 19 is very long.
Creating the AI voice was a multi-step process. First, we ran every line of dialogue through an automatic text-to-speech program. In the studio, we cued the actress who plays GLaDOS, Ellen McLean, with the computer-generated sound file. She'd mimic it, and then over the course of several takes, adjust her performance to clean up any words that were unintelligible in the computer version. For instance, here's a line as Ellen delivered it.
Perfect. Please move quickly to the chamber lock, as the effects of prolonged exposure to the button are not part of this test.
She's so good.
Once the recording was done, we processed all the dialogue to give it an extra computery edge. Here's that same line as it appears in the game, with the pitch constrained, pitch modulation suppressed, and the formant moved up.
Perfect. Please move quickly to the chamber lock, as the effects of prolonged exposure to the button are not part of this test.
I just prop fly for a second there. I heard the wind whooshing sound effect. That's so funny, actually. That was really jank. Classic Source Engine jank. I also always land on this thing. It's kind of lined up to do that. They make you do a kind of awkward fling there because of the way the window is placed, which I'm sure is intentional. They're just iterating on puzzles you've already done before.
As an actor, you come in, you do what you're told, you want to make your money, and sometimes you get good direction and sometimes you don't get good direction. But it doesn't matter, and you certainly don't tell the production team any of this. But you come in and they'll give you a lame line reading, and you're supposed to find some emotional value in that. But this is not what this team did. They would come in, for example, explosively indignant. That's a wonderful direction for an actor. So, I must say that the production team won me over, because so often I get bogus direction, but this time I was actually directed and had fun at all the sessions.
That's so cool. It kind of sounded like she was going to say something else and then they cut her off, though. Man, do I really need to do this jank shit bringing the radio through the... There's no other place to put a portal. Let's just try it again. Maybe go backwards, honestly. Yeah, that works better. Oh, but this is obviously not the place. Whatever. Let's do it again. Let's go backwards. I heard it fizzle a little bit. Shit. Is it like over there? It's going fuzzy. Maybe it's just like up there. Grab it. This one's probably in a really particular weird spot. I doubt it's over there. Oh no. My radio. My radio. Huh. Oh god. It seemed like it was somewhere around here. I just need to find the spot. Just need to find the spot. Oh god, no. No, my radio. Alright, that does it. You're grounded. Where do you take this bastard? Here? Here? There. Oh boy, okay. Listen, I just saved us some time by cheatsing. A little bit of cheatsing. Okay. Now we can just... Oh! I actually put it in the wrong spot. Now we can just solve the test chamber proper. It saved us here, nice. Saved us without the radio having, you know... It's like, I don't even need to do all these radio things. I was just curious where it was. Already got the achievement. Okay, here's a classic room. This is a room that portal ledging totally cheeses. But, whatever. So you can use the lasers of the turrets to kind of line up your shots here. But you don't actually need to kill the turrets at all. It's just kind of fun. Bop. And... So, I think if you... I don't know, this is cheese. Oh, and this one's right on the verge of being able to, like, put a portal on it, but I think it does come off the wall, yeah. So you can do this. Just poke into there. Cheese the puzzle. I guess, I don't know. I should probably do the actual puzzle, but I don't know. I kind of want to just do this in one stream. I think that would be good. Good and cool and neat. Right, you gotta fling yourself here. So I'm gonna wait for the timer to reset. Let's go in here. Go wee. Now that'll move. Oh, I forgot to kill a turret. It's fine. Don't hurt me. Are you still there? So now we got that. We can weigh down the button in the other room with it. Man, this is actually one that I don't have the best memory of. I think we can... Does that line up? Doesn't line up. Hold on, can I get on top of this? I'm gonna try to develop a new, even stupider cheese solution to this. Crouch jump onto the button? No, that doesn't work. Whatever. Just put that there and then go hit the button. Shit, did it blow up? Also, can you get into that one and get stuck? It looks like you should be able to. I've never done that.
Despite the best efforts of the enrichment
It didn't even close.
To ensure the safe performance of all authorized activities, you have managed to ensnare yourself permanently inside this room.
It's just the same dialogue.
Escape hatch will open in 3,
Okay.
2, 1.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever, like, done that in this one. Oh, okay. Stupid. But now we can kind of cheese the puzzle with that, funnily enough. I did develop a new stupid way of cheesing it. Because now we can just stand aside and let I can hold this door open with my body. Hopefully this doesn't hit me. Awesome. Wow, that's like the dumbest way anyone's ever done this test chamber. Now I'm just gonna do the same thing we did before again. Ledge that shit. Hit the button. And get out of here. Because all that was just to get this cube. So we can weigh down that button. That platform will... Or no, just the door opens. We don't want to fling ourselves here. You know what? Just for my own satisfaction, I don't think... Oh, right, I have N bound to no clip. I don't think anything happens to, like, the ending or anything if you get all the radios, but I just kind of want to have it active before I end the level. Is it over here? What a weird little spot. Oh, goodbye. Here's one of the most fun rooms.
Vital testing apparatus destroyed.
Big fling room. This is where you gotta learn how to do these mid-air placements. This was actually pretty tricky for me to do, like, execution-wise, when I first played this, because I hadn't played first-person shooters before.
Well done. Be advised that the next test requires exposure to uninsulated electrical parts that may be dangerous under certain conditions. For more information, please attend an Enrichment Center Electrical Safety Seminar.
And when you hit the door, there's certain parts of this where if you hit with a portal shot, it just makes a little tiny, dense cluster of particles that don't go anywhere, right? How do you do that again? We saw it for like 1 second there. Maybe it's like on the closed door before it moves. Alright, here's the final chamber.
When you are done, you will drop the device in the Equipment Recovery Annex. Enrichment Center regulations require both hands to be empty before any cake.
We use these moving platforms to add time pressure to puzzles. A sequence of simple decisions feels much more climactic under time pressure, in contrast to most puzzles in Portal which can be solved at the player's leisure. Puzzles that aren't time-bound can be more complex, but at the expense of being less dramatic.
We're about to see the unique green pellet that doesn't ever break. This is a weird thing. It's the only time in the entire game that you see this. It's just a unique pellet that has the property of never blowing up. And you never, it's like, how did it get there? What shot that pellet? Valve, please fix plot hole, please.
Sometimes little details make a huge difference. For instance,
Graham, you better not eat into the cake scene.
To this wall to give players a visual representation of how thick it is. Without it, playtesters frequently thought that the hall had just gotten impossibly narrower, panicked, and stopped making rational decisions.
The test is now over. All aperture technologies remain safely operational.
I think the radio in this room is in the fire.
Rest assured that there is absolutely no chance of a dangerous equipment malfunction prior to your victory incandescence. Thank you for participating in this
The iconic 4,000 degrees Kelvin music.
Goodbye.
We're not going to interrupt it with whoever the hell this is yet. So yeah, there's the radio. Come on. I like knocked over the radio somehow. What? With a portal? They're not corporeal.
Before the player escapes the fire pit, the AI dialogue is all delivered in computerized monotone. After the escape, however, Gladys gets progressively more expressive until, by the end, she's cycling through a whole mess of emotions. The role required an actor capable of mimicking the computer-generated voice while...
Where we pretended we were going to murder you. We are very, very happy for your success. We are throwing a party in honor of your tremendous success. Place the device on the ground, then lie on your stomach with your arms at your sides. A party associate will arrive shortly to collect you for your party. Make no further attempt to leave the testing area. Assume the party escort submission position or you will miss the party.
It doesn't work. Nothing happens if you do that. You can't place the device on the ground.
Before the player escapes the fire pit, the AI dialogue is all delivered in a computerized monotone.
Look at that
the
fire
escape, however,
effect.
Gladys gets progressively more expressive until, by the end, she's cycling through a whole mess of emotions. The role required an actor capable of mimicking the computer-generated voice while still infusing it with some real character. Since we planned to end the game with a song, she also needed to have a good singing voice. The woman we ended up
still
casting,
alive?
Ellen McLean, is a great mimic, a terrific actor, and a classically trained operatic soprano, so that worked out pretty good.
Do you have to take this up there? Do you have to fling with the radio? It's kind of cracked. Yeah, this level in particular is what I replayed over and over and over again. Like, some of the previous test chambers I used to replay a lot, but this was the part that I replayed for hours and hours and hours because I just loved it so much. Here's the stairs that break. You can still, like, crouch hop up there. But you're supposed to have to use a portal to get up here. They want to reinforce that portals still work even outside the bounds of the test chambers. Which kind of contradicts a little bit of stuff in Portal 2, where they talk about how portal surfaces, there have to be specific portal conductive surfaces that are made from, like, extremely expensive moon dust. It's like, why did they paint all these rooms with that conductive material? Slight plot hole, in my opinion, but maybe I'm just being nitpicky. Or maybe I don't understand the moon dust plot line very well. Let's take a closer look in this room. It's just a cool room. Here's where all the turrets are. Yeah, here's shooting through the gate. I'm sure he'll talk about it here. Bruh. And by the way, hold on. I'm gonna take a save, because I'm pretty sure this lock is breakable. Yeah. It's just taken straight from Half-Life 2. It's a breakable lock. But I don't think the door becomes openable, no. But if you, like, hit it with a crowbar or any of these guns, and also we can fire our own energy pellets, which I'm pretty sure can solve puzzles in this game. Here's all the Half-Life 2 weapons. I did this before I ever played Half-Life 2, and I was always like, what the fuck kind of weapon is this? That's messed up. Bug bait, what were they cooking?
In these new areas, we weren't using the surfaces the player is familiar with. The rules for which new surfaces portals can be placed on, and which surfaces are off-limits, needed to be taught. So, we created this area both to show the player they've escaped into the guts of the facility, and to retrain them in which surfaces are valid for portal placement.
Where the hell does this radio go? I have a feeling we... Oh, hold on, let's load the save. Just so we don't have the Impulse 101 HUD. GLaDOS's voice line here, by the way, it sounds distant, but it's just pre-baked to sound like that. I've tried, like, no clipping around while she says it, and it always sounds distant no matter where you are, which makes sense. I wonder if I've already passed where the radio should go. I can feel you. It's a great line. She can feel you because she is the facility. Yeah, this room, man. I think I remember in the Portal speedrun, I had like a save file from when I played this game as a teenager, that that had like every physics object in the entire like level stacked right in this little plaza here. Man, where the hell does this go? This might be the one that stumps me, because it's just such a huge level, and I kind of feel like I already missed it. There's just such a great feeling in this part of the game of like doing something you're not supposed to be doing, even though, of course, it's meticulously designed to evoke that feeling. You're not actually breaking any rules. It's just a really well-made game. I'm kind of getting sick of listening to the radio, so I might just give up on this one. Maybe in here. Here's where we get to see some of the observation rooms, and here's the Black Mesa references coming out in full force. In fact, I think one of the clipboards in here has the HEV suit text. Could be wrong. Oh, I'm sorry. It's like really hard to see it. Let's like bring it out there, I guess. Oh, it won't come through the window, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the Mark V hazardous environment suit. I wonder if we can get any more like detail off that. The Mark V hazardous environment suit has been redesigned for comfort and utility. And does that say suit charge at the bottom there? All the rest of it is clearly illegible. And I think it says revised in red as well. That's a really fun little Half-Life reference, and it's like, you can't get into this room without no clipping, and I think that's the only place that clipboard appears, so like, what the hell? Maybe it's in other places. Here's, you can pick this up, and the beam of light is an independent object from the actual projector. Dollars and cents. And this is the kind of humor that would be expanded on a lot more in the second game, too. I gotta blow my nose. Enjoy this slideshow while I blow. I like that little clip art there, too. Proposed and awarded. Awesome. Is this the bird? No, I think this is us. Yeah, this is 2, 3, 4. That's Chell's thing. Also, note that this glass doesn't have a texture from this side. They just didn't need to do it, so they didn't do it. There's another HEV suit one. Another Chell one. Yeah, clearly they didn't think anyone would go looking at these for obvious reasons. And I think the jellyfish are gonna be here too. Somewhere in here.
I went to Portal's, I Googled Portal in game, and I went to the trailer, and I just loved it. I loved hearing my voice. And as I told the production team, I have never played a computer game in my life, but I want to play this one.
She's delightful. Also, the wireless mice. One of the tiniest objects you can grab in this game. So yeah, now's the point where you realize, like, this facility is made for people, but where are all the people? And also, this is a fabricated alternate test chamber. There isn't actually the full test chamber here. These rooms are just dummy rooms. It's kind of, oh, it's a liminal space. Anyone else think this is a liminal space? These don't raise and lower, and this room is just empty. I guess there is. Man, can you see this from there in any way, shape, or form? Or was that kind of unnecessary? Yeah, you can't see it. A little bit of unnecessary extra detail, but it doesn't hurt, obviously. But there's, yeah, here we go. Here's the nice little jellyfish. Just a little doodle on the wall. I've never heard anybody talk about this besides me. It's such a little obscure thing. And then in one of the other ones, there's a big bad jellyfish. Oh, we are gonna go in there, which is why there's a node there. That is a fully fledged, like, copy of that test chamber. I think that's a one-way door as well, if memory serves. So we could only open it from that side. Are we sure this isn't the big bad jellyfish room? I don't see it anywhere. But where is it? It must be in a later observation room. I know it's in one of those rooms. Let's keep bringing this around. Oh! Oh! I dropped it like 2 feet away from where it activates. That's funny. Okay. I think we go... This... No. Shit, where do we go? No, we go over there, right. And we can just... You're supposed to, like, fling here, I think. Let's do that. No, you have to fling. We...
You haven't escaped, you know. You're not even going the right way. Hello? Is anyone there?
It's funny, you could hear the end of the word way right before she said hello. It's like they kind of put a little cut there to make her voice lines just a little bit further apart, and there was a tiny little bit of like a cut error, I feel like. Maybe I was imagining things. Right, here's the tube that we go through. Am I forgetting anything? No, we should just be able to go. Cube. This is something else. This sequence is kind of janky and doesn't, like, look amazing. Especially when considering the way Portal 2 did stuff like this. Let's take a quick look at, like, those tubes. Hold on, I gotta get off the ground. There we go. Yeah, so obviously the little, like, turns and stuff, these are just instant dead ends. They don't lead anywhere. Makes sense.
Okay, the test is over now. You win.
You
Go
win!
down to the recovery minutes for your cake. It was a fun test, and we're all impressed at how much you won.
I like that these are little dangly physics objects, too.
Come back.
We're all impressed at how much you won.
After players escape, we let them solve an old chamber in a new way. This reintroduction of a familiar space, which can now be solved in an incorrect way, helps convey the sense that players are cheating the system while forging their own path through the facility.
Hold on, I'm checking these. No, this is the one we already saw, yeah. Where's the big bad jellyfish, man? Oh, and yeah, the elevator's not here. Isn't there one in the main, like, in the actual test chambers where if you solve it fast enough, as you approach the elevator, it's, like, sliding into place, and you can, like, almost get into the empty elevator shaft, but not quite? I think that's in this game. I think we missed the big bad jellyfish. I swear it's real. It's in the Portal speedrun video. Okay, so we gotta go over here. Pop up these pistons so that we can get a look at the top of this platform and put a portal on it. I always kind of enjoyed this effect, where it's like we're just bypassing this platform entirely. It's just a weird... that's just so trippy and cool. Wee. Now we gotta go back. I love all the weird little distortions they add to GLaDOS's voice when you get, like, further into the belly of the beast. Where it's like you can barely tell what she's saying sometimes. Loading zone. Here's the ladder room.
Where do you think you're going? Because I don't think you're going where you think you're going.
I think this is just an entirely pointless little path. Yeah, there's the ladder, the famous ladder.
One bizarre fact of game design is that
control of
without
the
some
camera.
serious prompting, players will rarely look up. In this case, the prompt is the ladder. Most players will investigate where the ladder goes, which is up. The ladder actually falls apart as soon as it's touched, but by then it's served its purpose.
I love how, somewhat cheekily, for that commentary note, they took control of my camera and made me look up. I shot that portal of my own volition, though. I still had control over that. Okay. Careful not to get crushed.
We designed the post-escape levels to give players brief glimpses of the inner workings of the Enrichment Center. This particular area exposes part of the storage cube distribution system. These little vignettes help make this section of the game visually distinct from the testing chambers, while reinforcing the idea that players are now behind the scenes.
No way. I love when she imitates what she thinks Chell's voice sounds like. No way.
Through playtesting, we discovered that fatigue set in
These
if we
platforms
didn't break
are
up
also
the
physics
more complicated,
objects.
deliberately paced puzzles with problems that required the player to perform a much simpler task under time pressure. These pistons proved to be a good foundation for that simpler type of puzzle. Because they feature a moving surface, they also gave us an opportunity to employ some unusual portal transitions, such as ceiling to ceiling.
During development, we'd often run across some piece of level design that would break the portal system. For instance, this ceiling-to-ceiling transition was an unexpected edge case that ended up requiring a lot of effort to make work. We tried never to take the easy route of simply changing the level design to work with existing portal technology. We knew that once the game was out in the wild, custom map creators would stress the system in ways we hadn't even considered, so we made it as flexible as possible.
That's cool. They're thinking about custom map creators. I tried to grab some of those cubes, but it didn't work out. Okay, where are we shooting this next portal? Up here? Ceiling to ceiling. Ass to ass! They brought in the ass to ass guy. Oh! No panic. We're flinging... Where are we flinging, boys? Bah. Shit. I flung too much. Is this even an openable door? No. What the hell is the point of this little area? Huh. Well, how about that? Have I ever been in there? How am I still learning new things about this game? Yeah, this is a fun little set piece too.
You really shouldn't be here. This isn't safe for you. It's not too late for you to turn back.
Oh, what?
I'm not angry. Just go back.
Just go back. Here's another room that was in the trailer. It's a very cool looking area. I think we gotta get up there. Come on, stop doing that. Ooh, okay. I don't have much to say about this part, it's just awesome. It's funny, actually. And laugh, and laugh. Oh boy. She's still talking, but I can't even hear her. Loading?
In the sound booth, you're only connected to the production team by an intercom, and they can talk about you, and you don't know what they're saying. But you trust that they're being kind. And, you know, they'll push a button and then they'll say something to me. They'll say, a direction. No, that wasn't right. Do it again. Give us 3 more reads. And a lot of times what happens is they would play the computer-generated sound for me on
I'm actually
one line,
stuck.
and then I'm supposed to recreate that 3 times with the director saying, okay, well, you know, more sarcastic or more angry or more irritated. So you stand in the booth hour after hour after hour. They're always very nice. They let you have water in here and maybe a pencil to take a few notes. And of course you want it to be interesting because you want them to hire you again.
Oh wait, I'm moving? I'm like stuck under this piston right now. But it's not killing me somehow. Do I still have God mode on? I am moving very slowly. I've never had this happen. Come on. It's like the more I mash keys, the more I move. Okay, there we go. That was bizarre. This is a little turret trap, and if that room over there is another dummy room, it's not actually real. I think if with some good platforming, you can even like get over there, and there's just nothing in that room.
As the end of the game draws closer, we increase the ratio of time-pressured puzzles, like this turret ambush, to give the players the sense that they're approaching a climactic encounter.
Which we are, kinda. Oh, and here's
an important design
claw.
goal of these post-escape levels was to give players the sense that they're running wild inside the guts of the facility. With that in mind, we added plenty of nooks and crannies for players to crawl into or place portals through. This ended up being a tricky lighting challenge, as the areas needed to be bright enough to navigate, while still being dim enough to feel like obscure, disused sections of the building.
This is the broken turret that doesn't actually shoot at you.
Who's there?
You can dismiss the claw with the use key? I'm sorry? What? I never knew that. Oh my god, wow. That's insane. How is there still stuff left to learn? Here's another ladder getting you to look up. I don't know why this is, no, this is a place you want to go eventually. But I want to check out down there. This turret doesn't actually fire at you. It's kind of a spiritual predecessor to the broken turret, the like prophecy turret in Portal 2. My fault. Does he even have a unique dialogue for like getting knocked around? Huh. I don't know. I swear that my fault line, I don't really recognize that one. Is this an actual functional radio puzzle, I wonder? Not hearing any buzzing. Killed with the radio. Oh. Beautiful. Cake is a lie. It's a cupcake. No, it's a cake. She's watching you. We're at the point where these are all reused textures. They kind of stopped making unique ones, which is a bit of a shame. Because this is like the part of the game where I could use some new Ratman lore dumps. Oh well. Okay, maybe this is where the big jellyfish is.
It didn't have to be like this.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding now.
He's wanted.
Turn back or I will kill you. I'm going to kill you. And all the cake is gone.
Oh man, that line.
Even care, do you?
That line was the that was the drop in the shitty Portal, I shouldn't say shitty, kind of cringy in retrospect, Portal dubstep song, Cake is Gone. What does that say? Is that just like, what does that say? Helvetica? I don't know. It says something at the bottom of the big bad jellyfish. It's just like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just imagining things. But I used to draw the big bad jellyfish on my school papers too. And then we got this one, and we got the bird. Failed.
Sarcasm. GLaDOS is sarcastic a lot. And that's so much fun. But while I was trying to do this, trying to build in all these emotions, I still had to maintain the computer sound and maintain the pronunciation of repeated phrases. You know, aperture science and the enrichment center.
I'm shocked these stairs don't break. I really love hearing all the Ellen McLean commentary. What a character. Oh, here's this thing, right? I forgot about these. These are how you beat GLaDOS. These also didn't show up in Portal 2. I don't think there was even a reference to them, honestly. The rocket shooter. They just shoot an RPG like rocket from Half-Life 2. It's so
These
funny.
rocket sentries originally fired lasers. We switched from lasers to rockets after we introduced the glass breaking mechanic, mainly because glass shattering in a massive rocket explosion turned out to be a lot more satisfying than glass just slowly being melted by a laser. Originally, they also spoke, just like the bullet turrets. Because players often redirect the rockets with their backs to the turret, however, a distinct, uncluttered sound cue was required. The voice simply added too much noise to the rocket redirect mechanic.
I wonder what their voices would have been like. Just also turret-esque.
Breaking this tube gives players a chance to test out their newly trained rocket redirecting and glass breaking skills in a slightly different context, which helps cement the training.
Right, and you get a cube from here. Yeah, somebody said it says observations on the big bad jellyfish. It does look like it's supposed to be on a sheet of paper. I agree. It kind of looked like a watermark on a piece of paper. Oh, and then you have to shoot this and then backtrack a little. Is someone looking at the raw texture data, like, while I'm playing this? Okay, loading. Here's the slime room. I love this sludge. I saw a TikTok that was like these kids like slipping around and like hurting themselves on this weird sludge, and it looked exactly, it was like in a weird concrete area, and the sludge looked exactly like this, and they were slipping around on it, and I was like, holy shit, it's from the turret ambush room. You can also shoot portals on this sludge in certain places, which just seems like an error that never got patched out. Oh, radio. God, where do you take that one? Oh, jeez. I don't think I care, honestly. This music's so cool, too. I'll wait for the music to stop before I hit the commentary thing. Ow. Solve this. syntax error.
Please put me down.
You don't even need to actually kill all these turrets. It's just advisable. Oh! Oh god, there was one right behind me.
Searching.
Oops! Who are you? Help! Okay, I think that's all of them. Now let's where is that damn fourth Chaos Emerald? No, where's the radio? Did I bring it up? No, here we go. Let's just see if it's somewhere nice and easy, like the center of this room.
This massive turret ambush was originally a lot more massive, with turrets that dropped from the ceiling and popped out of surprise hatches. In fact, for a while, it was the game's climactic battle. Through playtesting, we learned that this type of pure combat experience didn't really fit with the preceding few hours of player training. Over several iterations, we toned down the combat and made the room more about using portal momentum to fling yourself great distances, a skill that playtesters really enjoyed using, and that's a key component of what eventually became our final battle.
I always loved this effect. If it's not like right here, then I give up on this one. Yeah. Because we're gonna have to fling here. Maybe if I just set this here, move this shit, move those corpses, fling, and then maybe we can grab it again. And look up there, we'll actually walk on some of those catwalks later, I think. Maybe not. Maybe not those precise ones. I might be lying. Oh god. Ah! Radio, please. It's upright. Oh. Nice. That's a tricky one. Gotta hand it to him. GLaDOS line here.
Originally, these catwalks were decorative, but playtesters consistently thought they were significant and often spent a lot of time trying to reach them. We didn't want to stand between people and their desire to walk on the catwalks, so we redesigned the area to make catwalks not only accessible, but also necessary to proceed.
I wonder if you can get to those like higher up ones, actually. I don't see how you would be able to. I've never tried. Maybe if you like jumped? Probably not. Oh no, not even close. It seems like there's a limit to the momentum flinging. Okay, well, I'm not gonna redo all that again. Yeah, and they're not even textured from above. Just want to make sure I didn't miss like a dialogue trigger point. Loading? No. Not yet. Another one of these. A case study, genetic life form and disk operating system. It's GLaDOS. Yeah, here she is. Sorry, there she is. This is it, boys. Well, I guess this is a one streamer. Oh god, there's gonna be a lot of nodes in here.
Well, you found me. Congratulations. Was it worth it? Because despite your violent behavior, the only thing you've managed to break so far is my heart. Maybe you could
look at all these
settle for
pictures.
that and we'll just call it a day. I guess we
photosensitivity issue.
Going to happen.
Black Mesa logos in there.
Now I have a surprise for you. Deploying surprise in 5, 4. Time out for a second. That wasn't supposed to happen. Do you see that thing that fell out of me? What is that? It's not the surprise. I've never seen it before. Never mind. It's a mystery I'll solve later. By myself. Because you'll be dead. Where are you taking that thing?
This is so these cores, you can do the like fire picker skin thing to make them look like the other cores, but they still have the behavior of their
make your life even worse somehow.
normal selves. I think GLaDOS will unfortunately keep yapping until I start the fight.
I don't want to tell you your business, but if it were me,
which is a little annoying. Here's the early GLaDOS design, Portal 1 GLaDOS design. That definitely looks like a woman hanging upside down in bondage, by the way. Once that was pointed out to me, I could never unsee it.
Okay, fine. Do touch it. Pick it up and just stuff it back into me.
I think eventually she'll run out of lines to say, and then we'll listen to the nodes.
Neither one of us knows what that thing does. Just put it in the
But like, look, there's her arms tucked behind her legs, there's her legs coming down, there's her arched back, and there's her head.
It's probably some kind of raw sewage container. Go ahead and rub your face all over it.
It's whack that this shit is still funny to me.
Marry that thing since you love it so much. Do you want to marry it? Well, I won't let you. How does that feel?
I want to say that's the last one.
Have I lied to you?
Nope.
I mean, in this room?
In this room?
Leave that thing alone.
It says GLaDOS up there too.
I am being serious now. That crazy thing is not part of any test protocol.
It's like we can pause and look at these pictures. It's like an eclair and some kind of wrench or pliers. There's the iconic cake, which was made in a bakery in Bothell, by the way. Just like one city over from where I live. I bet you some of these pictures are just like random Washington locales. Trash can, sure. The hell even is that? Weird hammer thing? There's lots of like tools and cake. I guess we can move this. Huh, a sponge with chopsticks? Cow. I'm having trouble even parsing what that one is. Bird. I wonder if that bird knows that it's in Portal. It's dead. It's surely dead by this point. It's a carbon fiber knife from Counter-Strike. Surely not. Boots?
Just ignore that thing and stand still.
Stand still, she says. Okay, I'm standing still. What's your plan? You don't do anything here.
Think about it. If that thing is important, why don't I know about it?
And the whole thing here is she's trying to trick us into destroying that thing because that's the thing preventing her from killing us.
I'll tell you what that thing isn't. It isn't yours, so leave it alone.
There's a shocking amount of dialogue here.
Are you even listening to me?
Here's more of the cake recipe, which we'll hear from the logic course soon.
I'll tell you what that thing isn't.
Oh my god, no.
Yours, so leave it
It
alone.
loops. God damn it. How do I make her shut up for a bit so we can listen to the nodes? Maybe I should, like... she seems to have stopped.
The fiction behind this red phone is that while GLaDOS was being developed, it was somebody's job to sit by it. And if it ever looked like the AI was becoming sentient and godlike, that person would pick up the phone and call somebody to come help. In the point in time where the actual game takes place, it's become obvious that the Aperture Science red phone plan didn't 100% work out.
I'll just get my red phone!
So when they told me that there was going to be a song at the end, I thought, well, all right, who's going to write the song? And they told me there was going to be a song written by Jonathan Colton. And I listened to...
I've seen Jonathan Colton perform live, by the way, because I'm that much of a nerd.
A song that Jonathan had written, and it was very funny, very clever. So I thought at that point, well, you know, this will be okay. But I am an opera singer, so usually I sing...
So
and
beautiful.
I thought, well, will I be able to have the right style for the song? So I was concerned. But then before the recording, they sent me an MP3 file of the song, and I listened to it with Jonathan singing it, but I loved the little song. And at home, as I practiced the little song, I tried to, you know, get back to GLaDOS's voice. You know, aperture science. Just this tiny little passive-aggressive computer who's all alone until people try to come in and murder her. So of course she gets upset. But she seems to have this real affinity for cake. and I want to play the game because I want to recreate the cake recipe and then put Portal on it and be able to serve it to my friends when they come over to my house.
I wonder if she made good on that.
GLaDOS, the rogue disk operating system that now runs Aperture Science, went through a bunch of design iterations. Earlier versions included a floating brain, a sprawling spidery mechanism, and an upside-down version of Botticelli's Rise of Venus built out of robot parts and wire. Eventually, we settled on a huge mechanical device with a delicate robotic figure dangling out of it, which successfully conveys both GLaDOS's raw power and her femininity.
I wonder if you can do Entfire Picker Skin on these guys while they're, like, still attached. It doesn't seem like it. They're, like, attached to her, which makes sense. They're not their own object yet. I always kind of, like, I know GLaDOS in Portal 2 is a very iconic character design. Somebody said they made her so much prettier in Portal 2, but I'll always have a fondness for this original design. She just looks cool. And they kind of like took away the arms, I think, I want to say, in her design in Portal 2, and made her look a little bit less like a human figure, which, I don't know. I kind of preferred the old one in a weird way, but the new one's good too. All right, let's just beat the game. I think we've seen all the nodes. I guess there is the matter of all the out-of-bounds stuff here. Oh, we can't even see. Oh, there's the skybox. So, I showed this in the Portal speedrun, but here's the area that you see when you complete the game. Just a very brief... Oh, man, I wonder... Oh, dude. Can we get the, like, crazy GeoGuessr guys? Or can't you do this shit with, like, AI now? This could be, like, the one good thing AI ever does. Figure out where this picture was taken so that I can, like, go there. It's a river. It's clearly like a river. This was found recently? Holy shit. Drop it in the comments. I need to go there. It's gotta be just some random, like, Washington landmark, obviously. But, yeah, it's a skybox, so we can't get super close to it here. But, that's just cool. I always really liked the ending of this game. Oh yeah, and there's a portal, or there's a portal. There's a radio here that I believe is the it's an entity that produces the audio that says thank you for assuming the party escort submission position, which is something that was added in the radio update in the lead up to Portal 2. And then this little box that says beans on it is the player camera in the ending cutscene. So this is what Chell turns into at the end of the game, is a box of beans. And I wonder, Hoopy the Hoop isn't here yet, but Hoopy the Hoop, like, spawns in during the ending cutscene. But I always thought it's fun, like, imagining. It's when Portal 1 was the only Stevens Pass Highway, Gold Bar, Washington. It's in fucking Gold Bar? Gold Bar sucks. I don't want to have to go to Gold Bar to see this view. Damn it. But I gotta. Next time I'm in Gold Bar, I will sweeten the experience I've been there by trying to find this place. There's coordinates. There's fucking coordinates. Gold Bar sucks dick. That's out there, and there's a bunch of like really shitty towns on like the outskirts of society in Washington State. If you ever find yourself in Gold Bar, or if you find yourself in Sultan, get out as fast as you can. They suck. They have a rotten energy to them. Look, these are some Half-Life 2 textures, straight up. A little bit of the Portal rules here are very loosey-goosey, because, of course, you were never meant to shoot portals here. But yeah, this is the ending cutscene spot, and it was always, when Portal 1 came out, or like when, you know, upon beating Portal 1 and before Portal 2 came out, I was always like imagining what Portal 2 might be like, and thinking, you know, what if Portal 2 takes place in the above world, you know, or it like connects to Half-Life or something. But we know it ended up not really being that way, and especially when they added, it was like originally when you beat the game, it just shows you above ground and it fades to black, and it's like maybe Chell died, maybe Chell, like, you know, got that one breath of freedom and then died, or maybe they just passed out, or who knows what happened. But then in the update, they added a thing that was like, thank you for assuming the party escort submission position, and it's supposed to be that a robot drags you back into the facility, and that's how the story, you know, connects to Portal 2. They put a little band-aid on the story for that. And then, yeah, down here is another, it's like the post-ending cutscene thing, with the cake. Here's the tube that the camera flies down, the omniscient camera. And there's a part in the ending, in this cutscene, that involves this area, where you can hear like a radio, with like Doppler effect that goes da-da-da as you zoom by it, but there's not actually a radio here. That's just another pre-baked sound effect, kind of like GLaDOS's distant voices. Is that? Wow, that's actually a loose physics object. Funny. But eventually, you zoom down the hallways and go down here. And again, sorry, this is repeating a bunch of stuff from a previous 7-year-old video at this point, but here's the companion cube, and some of these things light up, and I always took that to mean that these are like backup cores for GLaDOS, and they're just awakening to reboot GLaDOS, basically, because as we know from the credits song, she is still alive. And you can turn some of them on too with Entfire Picker Skin 1, because some of them light up in the ending. I don't think you can turn them all on, though, sadly. It's only the ones that are scripted to do that. Yeah, so that one doesn't work, but we can light that one up preemptively. And you can do all sorts of shit. You can, like, stack a bunch of, like, physics objects here, and then in the ending cutscene, they will show up. They'll be there. But we don't need to do that. So let's go actually play out the final boss. The sequence I've done countless times. There's a portal bump that you can do to get to the cake room. I didn't even know that. It's fun. Okay, so portal up there. No. I think I might need to go, like, move it a little. Did that do it? Yeah, okay.
You're kidding me.
You're kidding me.
Aperture Science thing, we don't know what it does, into an Aperture Science Emergency Intelligence Incinerator? That has got to be the dumbest thing that...
Whoa. Here's where we get the introduction of Portal 2 GLaDOS.
I figured out what that thing you just
Her actual iconic voice.
It was a morality core they installed after I flooded the enrichment center with a deadly neurotoxin to make me stop flooding the enrichment center with a deadly neurotoxin. So get comfortable while I warm up the neurotoxin emitters.
Another classic track. Okay, yeah.
I can't shut off the
We put this here. Oh fuck, that's like the one spot I don't want you to shoot.
Down in front of a rocket. Trust me, it'll be a lot less painful than the neurotoxin.
Yeah, so somebody mentioned it in chat, but if you do Impulse 101 and get guns, you can just shoot her and it just does damage to her like she's getting shot with a rocket.
The rocket really is the way to go.
Here's the Curiosity Core.
It's the fluid catalytic cracking unit. It made shoes for orphans. Nice job.
It made shoes for orphans.
This isn't brave. It's murder.
It's murder.
What did I ever do to you? The difference between... You think you're doing some damage?
2 plus 2 is...
10.
In base 4, I'm fine. I let you survive this long because I was curious about your behavior. Well...
Sorry, I'm doing this kind of fast, so we're not hearing a ton of her dialogue.
Can't get the neurotoxin into your head any faster. I'd just like to point out that you were given every opportunity to succeed. There was even going to be a party for you. A big party that all your
Here's the
friends
recipe
were
guy.
invited. I invited your best friend, the companion cube. Of course, he couldn't come because you murdered him. All your other friends...
Companion cube is gendered, by the way.
Many other friends because of how unlikable you are. It says so right here in your personnel file.
Unlikable.
Liked by no one. A bitter, unlikable loner whose passing shall not be mourned. Shall not be mourned. That's exactly what it says. Very formal.
Very formal.
Official. It also says she... Neurotoxin.
So deadly.
So deadly. Joking. When I said deadly neurotoxin, the deadly wasn't...
Okay, this one, the Rage Core is like in midair. It's like the actually kind of tricky one to get.
You, on the other hand, are going to find its deadliness.
I love too that her 4 emotions that she's programmed with ostensibly are, I guess they're like to modify her original programming. Anger, curiosity, logic, and morality.
The last thing you want to do is hurt me. I have your brain scanned and permanently backed up in case something terrible happens.
Which makes sense with a lot of the Caroline shit. She wasn't a born tester, she was made like this. Okay, that's it.
Every single thing you've ever done.
Including this thing.
You're not smart. You're not a scientist. You're not a doctor. You're not even a full-time employee. Where did your life go so wrong? Are you interesting?
It's a really cool effect there, too. Bye. There's Hoopy the Hoop, who shows up in Portal 2, unironically.
Thank you for assuming the party escort submission position.
And that was added. That was added in an update, what we're seeing right now. Alright. Yeah, what's even happening that makes you rise up into the air? Some science shit. Whatever spinny things were above her, I don't know. It's not explained. Alright, and let's see, look, the one that I activated is already glowing. and the cube is moved to be in a weird spot. It always bothered me that the claw, when it comes down, it's not perfectly centered on the candle, you know? We'll see it in a second here. That's it. What a classic.
This was a triumph. I'm making a note here.
Still one of my favorites ever. What a good game. It's short, but it's so good. And this is, of course, a classic song. And we can put some voices to names here too. In these credits. There's Charlie Brown. Dario Casali, one of the guys who developed Plutonia, the Doom Wads. And obviously, Ellen McLean killed it on this song too. I wonder if Ellen McLean did end up playing this game. Because she's like, I'm not a gamer, but I want to play it. I wonder if they had any idea how much of a cultural impact this would have. Doug Lombardi, that's another one that, like, a lot of these ring a bell, obviously, but what did he do? What's he significant for? Gabe Newell. My parents probably know all the lyrics to this song because I listened to it just so much when I was still living in their house. And like, I like Want You Gone, but it could never compete with this. And I know that they probably didn't even want to top it, but they were like, it's expected to have a song in the second game too. And Kim Swift is often credited as like the main developer, like the main mind behind this game, because she was, you know, a developer on Narbacular Drop. But there she's just, in typical Valve form, she's just listed as one of the many credits. Also, Mike Patton, the Anger Sphere. I think they also credit for the use of their face the person who Chell is based off of. Yeah. Chell is just a real person living among us. Nice. Oh. And the console comes up, and we get this little special thing for having beaten the game. Very, very cute. Well, that was fun. What a hoot. Yeah, Aperture Desk Job. I've never actually played that. Maybe I should. But that's still one of my favorite games ever. Obviously, I'm a big fan. I hope that my info dumping was entertaining. And I hope the developer commentary was illuminating as well. If you thought that shit was cool, just wait till you play the developer commentary of, like, Half-Life 2. I guess Half-Life 2 only just recently got a developer commentary mode that's kind of like a further, like, retrospective one that they did, like, you know, many years after the fact. But the Half-Life 2 episodes have some really good commentary modes that were made in a similar fashion to this one. So check those out if you want to. I think Left 4 Dead also, maybe one or two, I think they have those as well, to a certain degree. Man, we got like 250 viewers. I didn't realize that this was like a high viewer count stream. But yeah, we could play. I don't feel the need to do the bonus maps. Those are some fun things. I think if I were to ever play more Portal 1, it would be the Xbox version called Portal Still Alive that has extra levels in it. I don't think I ever will. Those extra levels are apparently just fan-made levels that were just imported into the Xbox version, so they're not Valve levels, man, so they probably don't even have new GLaDOS dialogue, if I had to guess. But I have thought about playing that sometimes, but yeah, I don't know. But I just thought, I've been thinking about Portal recently, I've been thinking about these dev commentary modes, and I think this is a good way to revisit it. And wow, that was like a clean 3 hours. I thought this would take multiple parts, but Portal really is just such a short game. But watching a 300+ hours player, it's like watching live dev commentary. There were some things that I didn't even know. I didn't know that you could hit E on the claw to make it recede into the ceiling. But anyway, I think we're done here. That was a hoot. What a great game. If you've never played it, if you've never played Portal 2, Portal 2 is also awesome. So go check that out. And we're gonna raid somebody. And the radio challenge was cool too. Some of them, that one in Test Chamber 18 was kind of fucked up. I don't know what the hell they wanted me to do with that one, but whatever. Shrimps? Should we raid shrimps? Nah, we don't need to raid anybody. I don't see anything. And yeah, and go, oh, you know what's a really great game? Go play Narbacular Drop. Just kidding, it's not good. Just watch my video about Narbacular Drop and you'll get the full experience. Alright, well, thanks for watching, everybody. It was a fun time, great game. Love you all. Take care.